It's high school football on your home for local high school sports, 99 The Wave. Along with Jason Eaton, I'm John Mowinkle coming to you from Ed Thomas Field in Parkersburg. Tonight it's week 2 action. Aplington-Parkersburg playing host to Dike-New Hartford as the football season is in its second week, and one of Iowa's all-time great rivalries will take center stage tonight. A non-district game for this district cycle, but just as many bragging rights are on the line. Once again, welcome to tonight's broadcast, and Jason, hard to believe, but here we are, the home opener for Aplington-Parkersburg, and a chance for each of these teams to really pick up some momentum in their season. But this matchup always brings a lot of intensity with it, with bragging rights on the line.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about a rivalry that goes back, to 1992. You got Dike-New Hartford coming in. Big game last week against Jessup that they single-handedly won. 48-0, I believe, was the score. And then you got the Falcons. They come into the game looking to build off what they were able to do against Grundy Center last week, especially with their running game.
You bet. So AP showed some signs of improvement as a program in last week's game at Grundy Center, which was a 35-13 loss in a game that Grundy Center won their 40th consecutive as a program. But they did not let what the opponent did, how they affect how they played. They moved the ball pretty well for the most part against Grundy Center. That was something that head coach Jeff Pikna was really hoping to accomplish. Not let what the opponent did affect how they played. They did that. However, it's going to be crucial for the Falcons to eliminate some of the costly mistakes that proved to be difference makers in last week's game. Jason, you look back at last week's game, AP a couple of key turnovers in the first half, fumble in the second half when they could have cut the deficit to 2 scores. Special teams mistakes, man, they can really kill a team, and the Falcons had some problems with those last week.
Yeah, and Coach Pikna said that in this week that they were self-inflicted wounds, as he referred to them, and that's one of his keys to this game actually, is to eliminate those and limit those mistakes. And you take those away from last week, and hard to predict, but who knows what the difference is there.
Dike-New Hartford, certainly a new-look team personnel-wise, at least for the starting lineup, but they did not look like it in last week's 48-0 victory at home over Jessup. They cruised their way to that dominant win. It was 28-0 at halftime, and the rest was history. They'll be taking on certainly an improved AP team, an AP team that's going to have a lot more to offer than that Jessup team did. So a chance for this younger group of D&H Wolverines to really kind of see what they're made of against a more formidable opponent. Always kind of a good measuring stick, especially after a season opener going from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of times teams improve their most between week 1 and week 2. And, Coach Betts from Dike-New Hartford, as he said, they want to be able to run the ball consistently, and that's something that he saw last week, but also wants to continue to improve that this week.
You bet. That in the passing game as well, looking to take a step forward there. Kind of hard to take a step forward when quarterback Peyton Picorni was 11 of 12 passing, but certainly some all-around improvements to be made for each team. We're still early in the season. Again, this is a non-district battle, so this game isn't going to matter at all for the playoffs, but obviously bragging rights are on the line. D&H has won 6 straight in this series. Last AP victory was in 2017, and they've won 13 of the last 14 as well. Last year when these teams met, it was a 42-0 Wolverine victory over in Dike. And in an interesting quirk in the schedule, this is the 5th time in 7 years that this game is at Ed Thomas Field. So they'll switch over back to Gunderson Sports Complex next season, but the Falcons have now hosted 5 of the last 7 meetings between these programs. D&H 1-0, coached by Don Betts. They're in Class 2A. Aplington-Parkersburg 0-1, coached by Jeff Pikna, and they are in Class 1A. Not too often these teams meet when they're in separate classes, but that is the case here tonight. And for this district cycle, between this year and next year, this series has been played every year since 1992, including some playoff meetings here and there as well. A lot to get to here on tonight's pregame coverage, including the Radio Iowa Scouting Report and interviews with both head coaches. I'm going to step aside for a moment here on 99 The Wave. The Radio Iowa Scouting Report is next.
From Radio Iowa Sports, this is the Scouting Report, an in-depth look at this week's prep and college games. Now from our studios in Des Moines, Todd Kim.
It's the 72nd meeting in the Cyhawk series as Iowa State hosts Iowa. The Cyclones look to break a home drought against the Hawkeyes. UNI faces its first road test at Wyoming, and more than a dozen rated matchups highlight week 2 of the high school season. That and more on the Scouting Report.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Iowa State will try to change recent history when the 16th-ranked Cyclones host Iowa in the 72nd meeting of the Cyhawk series. The home team has not won since 2018, and ISU's last victory over the Hawkeyes in Ames was a triple overtime win in 2011.
Man, there is so much energy around this game. You know, the home team probably feels that a lot more just because you're living in it from Thursday, Friday to Saturday. But yeah, those are things we've talked about a little bit just as a staff and certainly with our players. But, you know, I think it's certainly a unique stat. How do you come out and play your best football and be able to be ready to go, you know, at 11:05? I think those are all things we got to challenge ourselves with, but I think it's a great point.
That's Iowa State coach Matt Campbell. Iowa needs a big game from quarterback Mark Gronowski, who struggled in the pass game last week in a win over Albany. Yes, the Hawkeyes piled up 310 yards of rushing in that game, but they have little chance tomorrow without a balanced attack. On the other side, the Iowa defense must contain Cyclone quarterback Rocco Becht, who has 5 touchdown passes and completed 69% of his throws in a 2-0 start.
He plays like a veteran, and he did that at a young age. So his poise is impressive. Just the way he runs the team and doesn't make big mistakes is really, it's impressive. So we're going to have to be at our best. Yeah, we're a different group than we were last year too. So it's a whole new matchup, and the challenge is us getting ready this week knowing that it's going to be tough.
That's Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz. It marks the first time since 1978. Iowa State enters this game ranked while the Hawkeyes are unranked. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff in Jack Trice Stadium. The game will be televised by Fox. UNI faces a difficult test on the road with a visit to Wyoming. The Panthers open the season with a 38-14 win at home over Butler. And Coach Todd Stepsis says for the Panther offense tomorrow, it'll be about moving the sticks and staying on the field.
I think anytime you play a team where you're, the underdog, you got to figure out how to manage the game, as far as clock control, as ball control. How can you keep your defense off the field? How can you convert third downs? I think that's going to be one of the keys for us offensively.
Up next, high school football on the Scouting Report.
Okay, gotta be late. Gotta go. Where'd I put... wallet. Check. And, phone. Check. Keys. Check. Lunch. Check.
Checking for the things you need doesn't take long. But what about checking for your safety? Right now, 1 in every 5 vehicles on the road has an open safety recall. But it only takes seconds to check for open recalls on your car at checktoprotect.org. All you need is your vehicle identification number or license plate number. Your automaker may not have the right information to notify you about recalls by mail, especially if you recently moved or drive an older or used car. Checktoprotect.org is the quick, easy way to find out if your vehicle has an open safety recall and find the closest dealer who can make the repair for free.
Laptop. Check.
Before you go, take a minute. Visit checktoprotect.org. Check to Protect is a program of the National Safety Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
More than a dozen rated contests highlight week 2 of the high school season, and it's a busy night in Class 3A where the top-ranked team is on the road. Daniel Versteg reports.
The ice cream capital of the world plays host to a state-rated matchup when Class 4A number 7 Lamar's hosts Class 3A number 1 Bishop Heelan. The Crusaders sport future Iowa Hawkeye Kason Thomas in the backfield, and Lamar's head coach Ken Vigdahl says his defense has to be sound in slowing down the run to force the Crusaders to look elsewhere.
We need to get them off of schedule. You know what they're going to do. I don't think it's going to be a secret what's going to happen. Is they're going to turn around and hand the ball up to their running back. I mean, if you're going to Iowa, obviously you have talent. He's a very talented runner, big, strong runner.
Bulldog quarterback Jamie Sitzman completed 80% of his passes for 253 yards and 4 touchdowns in their season-opening win at Council Bluffs Aplington last week. But Bishop Heelan head coach John LaFleur says his 50 yards rushing proves he can make plays with more than just his arm.
Probably what jumps out most to me is his ability to make plays with his feet. We're going to have to be really disciplined with our pass rush lanes, keep him in the pocket, and try not to let him beat us with his feet, limit him to being one-dimensional.
For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Daniel Versteg with KLEM Radio in Lamar's.
Another big one in 3A finds third-ranked Humboldt hosting number 4 Clear Lake. Bob Fisher has a preview.
Humboldt beat Clear Lake twice last season in the 8th week of the regular season and then with a last-second game-winning field goal in the first round of the playoffs. Clear Lake head coach Aaron Stensland says his players are taking the approach of building off this year's game for success later in the season.
You're fighting for a district title the first time you play them, for seeding in the RPI. The second time you're playing them to go to the quarters. So there's all the pressure in the world. Tonight, I think both teams can just let it rip, and I think both teams' seasons can take off in the right direction regardless of the outcome.
Humboldt coach Derek Elman says his team is prepared.
We definitely have had a week where we've been very dialed in as coaches and trying to get our kids to understand the importance of being dialed in and focused in practice and really trying to get the reads down and trying to visualize themselves out on the field. So it's been a big week for us in practice. I like where we're at. I think our kids are in a good spot to go out and, put the best product they can out on the field.
Humboldt has won the last 3 games between the two schools, cutting Clear Lake's lead, the 77-game history of the rivalry, to a record of 38-37-2. In Humboldt, I'm Bob Fisher for the Scouting Report.
Moving to Class A, where number 4 Maquoketa Valley hosts 7th-ranked North Lynn. Maquoketa Valley will be without senior star quarterback Brady Wall. He was injured in last week's season-opening win over Starmont.
It could be anywhere from just this game to a couple games, so I don't see him playing, but I think we'll see him again soon, but just have to get him healed up.
That's Maquoketa Valley coach Andrew Christensen. With Wall out, junior Trevor Grimm will direct the offense. Also in Class A, it's 3rd-ranked MMC-RU visiting 1A 10th-ranked Hinton. And there's one rated matchup in 8-player. It finds 4th-ranked Montezuma visiting number 10 Wayne of Cordon. This season, Bex is recognizing student athletes that are not only a star in athletics, but also a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. Gladbrook Rhinebeck's Hudson Clark is a 5-sport athlete, and though he has not grown up on a farm, he became president of his local FFA chapter.
And I love being in that leadership role. I like being someone who can go and help make an organization better, and just being a part of that and being someone who can lead that, that's the best part of it.
Benton Community's Chloe DeGroot says her favorite sport is volleyball, and she started as a youngster.
I started at the YMCA like 6 years ago, probably. Ever since then, I started with my school club once I reached the age limit for YMCA. And then 2 years ago, I think, I actually started club, and now I play club and school volleyball.
Ethan Marceau of Bishop Garrigan has enjoyed competing for the football team and says the lessons learned have helped him off the field.
It's really just helped me be a leader and grow up in a sense of camaraderie with everybody, and just being friends with everybody, and being a captain and being a leader. It just shows me how important life is, being a good role model.
Adeline Martins of Oakland Riverside is a 4-sport athlete and says the memories she's made will be lasting.
You can get memories doing other things, but sports have provided a lot of those things and the opportunities. I mean, not a lot of kids get to go and play at state softball. I mean, one of those things, I'm never going to forget about that.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Beck's Players with Heart. The rest of Week 2 is next on the Scouting Report.
Every day, farmers rise before the sun and put everything they have into a job so few can do. Their courage, resilience, and relentless work shape the legacies and future of our country. At Beck's, we're proud to stand alongside those who don't wait to see what the world will do. They act, they lead, they are the difference. Beck's honors your commitment to your land, family, and purpose. And while we can't predict what the future holds, there is one thing we can do to change it, and that's be the difference, right now, in every decision, in every season.
At Beck's, we believe that true champions are not just made on the field, but also in the heart. The Beck's Player with Heart Scholarship celebrates high school student athletes who show dedication, teamwork, and leadership, both in sports and in their communities. We're honoring those who go above and beyond, demonstrating passion, perseverance, and a commitment to making a difference. Nominate a high school student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Perennial powers collide tonight in Class 4A when second-ranked Pella travels to Waverly Shell Rock. Matt Ray has a preview.
New Go Hawk head coach Cal Twait is now just 338 wins behind his legendary grandpa Dwayne as his tenure began with a bang.
Here is the run-up and the kick. The 2025 season is underway. The ball goes right to the 1-yard line, picked up by Bowden Center in between the hashes. 10, 15, breaks a tackle, makes another man miss. 20, 25, 30, bouncing to the outside. 30, 40, 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Out the gate, the Cal Twait era begins with the firework.
The Go Hawks won 45-0 over Bondurant Farrar, but Coach Twait says Pella will be a much bigger challenge.
Pella's got a great team. They were in the state finals a year ago. They returned some great athletes from that team from a year ago. Nice tailback. They have a really nice receiver. They play really fast on defense. I've been really impressed by Pella.
Pella topped Ballard 26-7 last week. I'm Matt Ray reporting for Radio Iowa.
Also in 4A, there's one other rated matchup. It finds 5th-ranked Newton on the road at number 9 North Polk. A busy night of rated action in Class 5A. It includes top-ranked West Des Moines Valley visiting number 3 Waukee Northwest, while second-ranked Southeast Polk plays host to 4th-ranked Iowa City Liberty. 2A, top-ranked Carroll Kemper is on the road to take on 3A number 5 Algona. Brian Wilson reports.
The Knights and the Bulldogs will clash for the first time since 1993 tonight here in Algona, both coming off impressive season and opening victories. Algona won at Spirit Lake by a score of 33-21, racking up over 300 yards on the ground. Bulldog head coach Andy Jacobson says he likes what he saw from his club last week, but he knows the Knights will present an even bigger challenge.
They've got a big offensive line that's physical and a back that runs really, really well. Of course, they got a quarterback that's really, really good as far as throwing the ball. He's got a really big arm.
Kemper amassed over 500 yards of total offense in their opener, a 44-28 win over Cherokee at home. Knights head coach Andy Steinkamp says his team is ready to hit the road for the first time in 2025.
Algona's got a great stadium, a great team. You know, they've had a lot of success, especially in recent years too. So we know it's going to be a great opponent. And I think it's just a great opportunity. You know, it's high school football. It's going to be a Friday night. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, before the game, Algona will honor their 1925 squad that went a perfect 9-0 and claimed a state championship, a team that outscored their opponents 229-13 over that season. In Algona, I'm Brian Wilson on the Scouting Report.
Mid-Prairie coach Darren Lambert likes challenging non-district games in the Class 2A. 6th-ranked Hawks have another one tonight when they visit number 9 Alburnett. A year ago, Mid-Prairie opened 0-3 before making a run to the quarterfinal round of the playoffs. They opened last week with a 50-35 win over Washington. Lambert says Alburnett will feature a balanced and physical team.
So there's still some unknowns that we need to get through, but ultimately we're going to focus on what we can control. But a lot of credit to them. We know it's going to be a tough opponent. Like I said, balanced, physical, and well-coached. And so anytime you see that, it's going to be a tough night for you.
Class 1A 8th-ranked Trainer has a tough non-district test on the road at 2A, number 8 Van Meter. Trainer opened with a victory over Oakland Riverside last week, and Coach Jeff Casey says they'll need a big effort tonight against the Bulldogs.
Playing a team like Van Meter, you can count on there's going to be some adversity. Something's going to happen. They're going to play really, really well. They're a tough opponent. And we're going to have to fight through that adversity and play with some toughness.
Class 2A tonight, it's number 2 OABCIG hosting 1A 5th-ranked Tri-Center. 3rd-ranked PCM Monroe's on the road at 3A, number 9 Nevada. It's number 4 Roland Story hosting 10th-ranked Des Moines Christian, while 5th-ranked Central Lyon George Little Rock hosts 1A, number 2 West Lyon. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Todd Kim.
I'm being joined on Radio on the Go Sports by Dike-New Hartford football coach Don Betts as we preview this Week 2 matchup with Aplington-Parkersburg. And, Coach, thanks for taking some time here. Before we talk about this matchup, one more time, just want to talk a little bit about that 48-0 victory over Jessup last week. I have to imagine, for you guys in that game, so important to be able to, get those guys those varsity reps, not only the reps, but to be able to perform at such a high level in most of those guys' first career starts. Just kind of want to get your take one more time on that game and how that can be used kind of as a springboard for you guys into the rest of the season now.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of those guys, as you said, had never played meaningful minutes in a varsity football game. For them to go out there, get their feet wet, and have some success out there, I thought as the game went along, that success just kind of built on itself. And our kids played extremely well, really proud of them and the way they came out. And you're right, it is a springboard. It gives you that little extra shot of confidence. You can have all the confidence in the world, but until you've been out there and actually done it, there's some questions in your mind. And our kids went out there and performed very well, and gives them a boost going into the next week and the rest of the season.
Yeah, and not only did you get your starters a whole bunch of reps, but looks like you were able to rotate a lot of different guys in. I have to imagine for some of those guys that maybe aren't going to be seeing the field quite as much this year, that had been crucial for them as well. To maybe get some rest for those starters and be able to keep guys fresh. I have to imagine that's a big thing whenever you're kind of reloading, if you will, right?
A lot of kids and see how they performed out on the field during a game. So we had a plan going in to get kids in, regardless of what the score was. We were going to get a lot of kids on the field and take a look at them and be able to evaluate in game situations some of these guys. There's still some battles we've got going on for playing time and whatnot. So we wanted to see them in live action. And it was just a bonus that we were able to get even more kids in than what we thought we were going to, and more reps for those kids. But those reps in games are just critical for these guys with their lack of experience. So that was a real good outcome of the game.
Yeah, so moving on to this matchup with Aplington-Parkersburg, it's a series that's been going on ever since both schools started up. One of Iowa's great rivalries all time. So they kind of have a lot of familiarity, but a little bit of a new system with Aplington-Parkersburg this year. They were able to put a little bit of stuff on film against Grundy Center last week. So when it comes to checking those guys out, a little bit of changes here and there with AP's offense. What's kind of your take on as far as the scouting report and things you're going to be looking for when it comes to scouting their offense?
Well, it almost like a flashback. I thought it's different offense, obviously, but it was very much an old Ed Thomas type philosophy of we're going to run the football at you, and we're going to be very physical when we do it. And that traditionally under Coach Thomas was AP football. And I think last week they showed flashes of that, but definitely that kind of an attitude that they're going to have. And, that's something that we have to prepare for. It's a little different than what we've seen the last couple of years.
And then on the flip side, when it comes to your guys' offense, what are going to be some of the biggest steps you're looking to take on that side of the ball here this week? I know things definitely went pretty well against Jessup here last week in all phases, but how can this team take another step forward here against AP this week on offense?
We want to be able to consistently run the football, and we did a fairly good job of that last week, but there's room for improvement there. Passing game wise, we want to continue to expand our passing game as we go throughout the season, work on those things a little bit. You can't be too disappointed when you score as many points as we did, but there are always things that you can work on, technique things that we dialed down on with the kids this week to try and improve upon so that we can continue to improve as the season goes.
You bet. And when it comes to this matchup as a whole, a little bit different this year being non-district, but to kind of get this one out of the way early, I have to imagine this is something that is going to be a big highlight for both teams early on in the season. Playing this one in week 2 as opposed to in the past couple years it's been, I think it was like week 6 or 7 last year.
Yeah, and I've said since our first game back in 1992, and I was here for that one, by the way. Every year you play AP, it's the biggest game of the year. It doesn't matter how they did previous years with either team or what this year's record is or whether it's district, non-district. None of that matters. You could pull the bus up and play the game in the parking lot with nobody there, and it'd still be the biggest game of the year. And that's the way it's always been, and hopefully always will be in this rivalry. It's a great rivalry, and we're excited for this week to play AP again.
All right, just about out of time, but any final thoughts you'd like to share here today?
I'm just really proud of our kids, where we're at, the improvement we've made, and we're excited to see what we can do this week against an AP team that played very well at times against the Grundy Center, see if we can continue to improve.
All right, that's Dike-New Hartford football coach Don Betts previewing this matchup with Aplington-Parkersburg. Thank you so much for the time today, and best of luck here on Friday night.
All right. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right, more pregame coverage is coming up in just a moment. I'm being joined on Radio On The Go Sports by Aplington-Parkersburg football coach Jeff Pikna as we preview this Week 2 matchup against Dike-New Hartford, also the home opener for the Falcons. And, Coach, thanks for taking some time. Before we talk about this game specifically, just kind of want to go back last week again, a 35-13 season opening loss against top-ranked Grundy Center to get the season underway. But what were some of the biggest takeaways from that game that you've kind of been able to kind of emphasize in practice throughout this week as you look to take another step forward as a team?
Yeah, I think just building on the things that worked well and really emphasizing why things that didn't go well. We don't try to sweep anything up the rug or make excuses for ourselves or highlight positives over negatives, especially in a loss. You never want to do that in a loss. So just really focusing on the things that we're seeing live and the things that seem to be reoccurring, good and bad, and really trying to emphasize those.
You bet. So when it comes to getting ready for this week's game, you got a game under your belts with a little bit of a new offensive system for you guys. Certainly a power running type of offense that you guys were able to run last week. But what are going to be some of the biggest steps you're kind of hoping to take when it comes to offensively? What's that going to look like as far as some growth there from week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, obviously there's a sense of confidence there, in the ability to run the ball, especially against that team, and especially with how new the offense is to them. I think a lot of the emphasis this week will just be on fine-tuning some things. When we dug deeper, the blocking up front by everybody wasn't necessarily great. Had a lot of help from the guys in the backfield making holes, but I think just really focusing on that for the positive, and then making sure we're able to expand on that and open up other opportunities for us on the offensive side, so that we don't become too one-dimensional and predictable, and being really disciplined in our approach. So.
You bet. And then on the flip side, defensively here, just looking at some of the film, some of the stats from Dike and Hartford last week, really crisp performance for them. They were getting a lot of new guys involved in their system, but a really strong game offensively against Jessup last week in a 48-0 victory. In scouting those guys, what are some of the biggest things that come to mind as far as what it's going to take to defend those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think people put a little too much emphasis on the turnover they have. Good coach teams, especially, when they've been doing it as long as they have, the staff that's over there, they very few and far between have rebuilding seasons, and much more it's reloading seasons. And as you can see, they're off to another great start. I think a lot of people are counting them out because of the amount of kids they lost and kind of undermining them a little bit, in my opinion. They're still going to be a great team. They've been well coached for 20, 30 years, and I don't think that's going to change just because they lost a class of kids. So I think they're right where they should be, and they're doing the things they're supposed to do, obviously, with the result you saw Friday. So.
You bet. And when it comes to your team as a whole, after that game against Grundy Center last week, what's kind of the vibe and the atmosphere been around the program? I have to imagine, the level you guys were able to perform at last week had to give you guys kind of a boost of confidence in a certain way, despite it being a loss. What's kind of your take on how the team has kind of responded, kind of the energy that they're bringing after that game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, we emphasize on the things that, especially compared to last year and the year before, how those games have gone, the tremendous improvement that they've made, the confidence, the ability to be creative with the ball and really just keep going when your back gets against the wall and you have those big mistakes like we had that could have easily set them back and made them give up, and they didn't. So I think emphasizing that as the upside, and then really focusing on how much of the costly mistakes that happened last Friday were self-imposed and things that we've practiced many times to make sure it doesn't happen. That did happen, and that's probably the best side is a lot of the mistakes that were costly in that game that led to points for Grundy Center. A lot of them were self-inflicted wounds, so that's usually a good place to start is eliminating those, because then you have a basis, and the kids know what the right thing is. They're just having a hard time executing it, so we put a lot of emphasis on that this week for sure.
Big picture, this is one of the big football rivalries in the state of Iowa. These teams have played each other ever since both schools started up back in the 90s. So a long-standing rivalry. Your first time getting a crack as a coach in this rivalry. What are your thoughts on attacking that and getting to be a part of a special matchup here?
Yeah, I think obviously with the reclassings and constant redistricts, rivalries are kind of coming to an end, unfortunately. A lot of schools are splitting up, going different classes, going different ways. I'm glad to see that, there's schools like AP and Dike that even if they're split classes, they're still making it important to make sure that they keep that going. So it's really awesome to be part of that. I've never really been in a rivalry game per se, so I'm sure the environment and the feeling will be a unique one. And, just trying to make sure that our kids get the best experience, especially the guys that are playing Dike for the last time. So.
You bet. And last question here for you. When it comes down to it, what are going to be the keys to victory? What's for sure got to go right for you guys in order to be successful here against Dike and Hartford?
Yeah, I mean, the first one is obviously turnovers. You had 3 last week. A lot of them very close to the opposing team's end zone. So can't have that. And then, the other emphasis would be to, stay disciplined, stay committed to what we've been doing. We don't need to change just because it's a new team. We found what works. We've emphasized on what doesn't, and we're going to stay to that and stick to that no matter what. Nobody's going to get us out of our game plan, so we're just going to stay focused on that.
All right, that's Aplington-Parkersburg football coach Jeff Pikna joining me here on Radio On The Go Sports. Appreciate the time, and best of luck here on Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, more pregame coverage is coming up next.
Aplington-Parkersburg and Dike-New Hartford. Week 2 football action is moments away here on 99 The Wave and on Radio on the Go on YouTube as well. Let's go ahead and meet the starters. We will start with the starters for Dike-New Hartford. Here we go. Let's start with the offensive starters for Dike-New Hartford. At quarterback, it's junior number 10, Peyton Picorni. At one running back, it's senior number 8, Dev Davis. Another running back is senior number 42, Levi Folkerts. The wide receivers, junior number 9, Aiden Walston, and senior number 81, Cam Tott. And the tight end is senior number 18, Logan Peveril. And on the offensive line, the tackles, junior number 71, Grady Hyman, and senior number 63, Jalen Haugen. The guards, junior number 57, Ryder Palmersheim, and junior number 65, Logan Hayes. The center, senior number 66, Dawson Dietrich. He's the lone returning starter from last year. For the Wolverine defense, the DNs, senior number 66, Dawson Dietrich, junior number 65, Logan Hayes. The D tackles, seniors, number 68, Lane Gersh, and number 72, Ethan Osterhaus. The 4 linebackers, senior number 18, Logan Peveril, senior number 42, Levi Folkerts, senior number 8, Dev Davis, and junior number 9, Aiden Walston. And the D-backs, junior number 14, Quinn Mills, senior number 15, Tate Block, and senior number 81, Cam Tott. Wolverines are coached by head coach Don Betts. And for the home team, Aplington-Parkersburg. On offense, quarterback is number 7, a senior, Benny Waller. At running back, sophomore number 0, Mason Prusner. The wingbacks, senior number 33, Creighton Eberhardt, and sophomore number 32, Devin Eberhardt. The wideouts, senior number 6, Brandon Hartbarger, and senior number 14, Braden Conkorf. On the APO line at left tackle, senior number 72, Corbin Wyatt. Left guard, senior number 67, Gavin Allen. At center, senior number 55, EJ Vesley. Right guard is junior number 62, Mason Cobb, and the right tackle is junior number 66, Parker Mulder. On defense, the DNs, senior number 67, Gavin Allen, and senior number 72, Corbin Wyatt. The D tackles, senior number 55, EJ Vesley, and senior number 68, Hunter McBride. The linebackers, sophomore number 0, Mason Prusner, junior number 66, Parker Mulder, junior number 12, Wes Shurik, and junior number 11, Aiden Merrill. In the secondary, at corner, is senior number 20, Trevin Thomas, and senior number 2, Titan Verrett, and the safety, senior number 3, Luke Jacobson. Head coach of the Falcons in his first season is Jeff Pikna. John Mowinkle, Jason Eaton with you here on 99 The Wave. Jason, how about some keys to the game for us?
Yeah, you know, John, I think for the Falcons, what's going to come down to is limiting turnovers like they had last week. Get rid of those, stay disciplined, and like Coach Pikna said, stay to their game plan. Don't let Dike-New Hartford take you away from your game plan. And for Dike-New Hartford, just more consistency in their running game and continuing to expand on their passing game.
All right, so those have been our keys to the game, courtesy of, well, those are from the coaches, but courtesy of Jason Eaton giving us those keys as well. We do want to recognize Wiffles Hybrids as well, the sponsor of tonight's halftime show coming up. When you plant Wiffles, you're not just choosing superior seed corn, you're making a statement. One that says staying independent, family-owned, and it means something on your farm. So make your choice, plant Wiffles Hybrids. And speaking of that, on tonight's halftime show, I've actually got 2 guests lined up. We'll start by hearing from Aplington-Parkersburg volleyball coach Candace Cluspy on the team's start to the season so far. We're also going to hear from Brady Driscoll. He is an assistant for AP cross country right now, also the head girls basketball coach. We're going to talk some sports with him as well. So 2 guests coming up on tonight's Wiffles Hybrids halftime show. The teams have taken the field. Dike-New Hartford will kick off from left to right as we see it from our broadcast location.
For the Falcons.
Aiden Merrill and Wes Shurik are back deep to return. And kicking it off for Dike-New Hartford will be junior number 84, Zach Graves. He will kick it off from left to right down to the east end of Ed Thomas Field. He's got the ball placed up at the 40-yard line on the right hash rather than in the X in the center. And we are ready to roll. D&H has won 13 of the last 14 in the series. Let's see who wins tonight. The ball is in the air, and it is an end-over-end kickoff, angling right. Merrill there to return it. Just crosses the goal line, and he's going to bring it out. Angles right, tries to shed a tackle. Gerbrock there to try to bring him down. Brought back inside the 10-yard line. And it's going to be a long field to drive for Aplington-Parkersburg. James Wingerton there to help make the stop for the Wolverines as well. So here comes that AP offense led by senior quarterback Benny Waller, who had a great rushing performance last week as well. Not necessarily a one-man show, but a big part of what the Falcons were able to do at Grundy Center last week. They will start at their own 10-yard line. Ball spotted near the center of the field. And Hartbarger and Kalkworth, the wideouts on each side, one wide receiver each side. And they start under center, full house formation. Waller, QB keeper, bounces it to the left after taking the snap, gains minimal yardage, and it'll be second down coming up. Looks like they'll give him about 3 on the QB carry.
Waller on the quarterback keeper.
John Mowinkle, Jason Eaton with you here. And Jason, this rivalry is one that dates all the way back to 1992. These teams have played every year since, and sometimes in the playoffs as well. Falcons looking for their first victory in quite a long time. Second down and 7, they will call it. From their own 13-yard line, ball spotted in the middle of the field. We'll get our colors of the game momentarily as well. Handoff on a dive. This one goes up the middle, near the line to gain. Nice yardage by the halfback carry of AP. See who got the carry that time.
Devin
Eberhard on the carry. That's Devin Eberhard. First down yardage out to the 21-yard line. Needed 7, got 8, and AP moves the sticks. 10:58 to go here in the first quarter. Just underway. AP on the opening drive of the game. Waller lines up under center. Offset I formation. Wingback goes in motion. Quick handoff to the fullback. This one is busted right away. Several Wolverine defenders there up front to help make the stop. One of them was one of the linebackers, number 42, Levi Fulkerts, there to wrestle down the ball carrier of AP. It'll be second down and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Eberhard with the carry.
Yeah, John, AP coming out early, trying to establish that running game. They start off with Waller on that quarterback sneak first play. I think that's the first play they ran last week against Grundy Center as well.
Yeah, it was almost exclusively on the ground early on in that game. Now they line up at the pistol, full house formation. Eberhard, that's Devin Eberhard, motions left to right. Turnaround handoff on a counter. This one gets busted right away. It's going to be third and long. Heck of a play by the Wolverine defense. Logan Peverill rumbling down in there to make the stop. Jason Prusner on the carry, gains about 2, and it'll be third down and 8 here for the Falcons on their first drive of the game. 9:48 to go here in the first quarter. Well, now a chance for AP to open the playbook. Probably a passing situation. At least that's what you would imagine here. And a long huddle here. 9.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. AP on their first drive of the game. They go single wideouts each side. Wes Shirk lines up here on the left side. And a pistol full house. Creighton Eberhard motions. Waller back to throw. Being flushed out to the left under heavy pressure. Tries making something out of nothing. Maybe gets back to the line of gain. And it's going to be fourth down for Aplington-Parkersburg.
Waller on the keeper brings up first.
Looks like Logan Hayes, one of the Wolverines in there to help spin him down. Lane Gersh as well. It's going to be fourth down and long for the Falcons. They're going to call it fourth down and 8 back at their own 22-yard line. Definitely a punting situation coming up here for AP.
Yeah, that third down, you got Waller looking for Shirk there along the sideline. Couldn't find him. That was his big target last week.
And they're going to bring the offense back out onto the field here for this 4th and 8. Waller, he's going to do a pooch punt. This one angles right. Quinn Mills, the punt returner, will let it bounce. AP is going to run it down it here with Wes Shirk around the 48-yard line in AP territory. So a short field to drive here for Dike-New Hartford as their offense comes out onto the field. With first-year quarterback Peyton Picorni, who was 11 of 12 passing last week with a pair of touchdowns as well. And here comes that Wolverine offense out onto the field. Falcons will look to see what they can do defensively this time around. D&H wearing the road white jerseys with blue numbers and text, blue pants, blue helmets. AP in the home red uniforms, white numbers and text. Black stripes on the sleeves as well. Two-men motion to the left. Those are Fulkerts and Peverill. Here's a snap, Picorni. Handoff left. This is Davis rumbling forward. Nice gain by the Wolverines out to about the 41-yard line. Second and About 4 coming up for Dike-New Hartford after Davis rumbles down to the 41 left hash.
Brought down by Shirk.
So D&H establishing what they do typically as well, start with the run. We'll see how much they mix in the passing game here as well. That's something that head coach Don Betts was looking to crisp up here this week as well. Being more multiple when it comes to the passing game. They line up with 3 wide receivers right and 1 left. Picorni back to pass, sets the feet, slings it left over the top of his intended receiver. That was Jaden Soppy, the wideout. And it's going to be 3rd down and 4 after the incomplete pass. So already here in the game, Picorni with as many incompletions as he had last week. He'll start the game 0-for-1. And definitely, Jason, the playbook wide open right now for Dike-New Hartford on 3rd and 4 at the 41 of Aplington-Parkersburg.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're probably going to see Dev Davis get this ball and see what he can do with it.
Peveril motions left to right, lines up a tight end right, 2 wide receivers out to the right side as well. I formation, handoff, Davis, counterplay to the right, tries shedding a tackle. Lunges forward for a gain of a few yards. Looks to be right around the line to gain, but it'll depend on where the knee was down. I'm going to switch out the football here over on the near side, place it at about the 38 on the numbers, and we're going to have a measurement coming up, it looks like. Regardless, I would say 4-down territory without question here for Dike-New Hartford. You know, this deep into opponent territory with a chance to really lay on the lumber if they're able to, you know, pick this up. Well, we'll see what the spot is here first and whether or not it's a 1st down.
Looks like it's going to be just a little bit short. Nope.
Just enough for a 1st down, and Dike-New Hartford moves the chains to the 38-yard line of Aplington-Parkersburg. 7:42 to go here in this 1st quarter. Wolverines move the chains, pick up their first down of the game, and here they come. They won 48-0 at home over Jessup last week. Falcons coming off a 35-13 loss on the road to Grundy Center, the 3-time defending state champions. Cam Tott checks into the game as a wideout. Double receivers right. And Tott motions out to the near side, lines up on the line. Now another receiver, Mills, motions left. Picorni fake the handoff, throw over the middle. Oh, that was almost a spectacular catch by Logan Peveril. Reached out with a left hand, not quite able to pull it in. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Wolverines. Yeah, checking out the replay here. Fake handoff, great play design, just a little bit too far out of Peveril's reach, and 2nd down and 10 coming up here for D&H. I like that play call in that situation though, especially with that fake handoff there. So now they line up 2-by-2 receivers. The wideouts on the line, the slots offset. Motion man, it'll be a handoff on a jet sweep, and Walston gets blown up in the backfield. And that'll bring the Falcon fans to life here on the near side. Gavin Allen there to absolutely blow that play up. And it's going to be 3rd and long here for D&H.
Loss of 6 on
he came straight through the line of scrimmage. Maybe a missed assignment on the O-line of D&H. And now it's going to be 3rd and forever for Dike-New Hartford. 3rd and 16 back at the AP 44. AP with the secondary playing deep. 3 wide receivers to the right and 1 wide receiver out left. Picorni back to pass. Good protection, loads up deep down the left side. Way too far ahead of his intended receiver. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Jaden Soppy on the flyer out. Right idea, but Picorni just airmailed that pass.
Be interesting to see what Dike-New Hartford does here. It's 4th and 16, but they're on the 44 of Aplington-Parkersburg. I'm going to guess they're probably going to try and go for this.
AP does have their punt returner back.
And nope, they're going to punt.
Yeah, he's going to line up. Wes Shirk is at the 11-yard line. And Picorni lines up as the punter as well. Now, this is one you got to watch for some trickery here. Picorni does take the snap, end over end punt, bounces at the 10-yard line, and it'll bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So AP will take over at their own 20-yard line. So each team stopped on their first drive, and Aplington-Parkersburg will get their second chance on offense. 6:39 to go here in the 1st quarter. We're still scoreless between Dike-New Hartford and Aplington-Parkersburg. Well, Jason, even start to this rivalry. Both teams got a chance to move the ball a little bit on their first drive, but the defenses came in strong, highlighted on that last drive by Gavin Allen, blowing up a jet sweep in the backfield for Dike-New Hartford.
Yeah, that was a heck of a tackle. He blew right by the offensive line. Loss of 6 on that play, too.
So here we go. Shotgun formation, screen pass near side, caught by Kalkworth. Rumbles forward to just shy of the 25-yard line. Looks to be a gain of about 4. Folkert's in there to bring him down at linebacker. Good coverage on that play for D&H. They'll bring up 2nd down and 6 after a nice little catch and run by Kalkworth. One of the starting wide receivers for AP here this season. Not a ton of production last year. 2nd down and 4. They'll line up here with two. It's going to be empty backfield here. 2 right, 3 left. QB keeper Waller runs left, gets to the line, lowers the shoulders, and gets across. It's going to bring up 3rd and manageable here for AP. I have to imagine they were hoping that was going to gain a lot more yardage than it did. I'll say the knee was down at the 27-yard line, so 3rd down and 3 coming up here for the Falcons. Devin Eberhardt and Creighton Eberhardt both run off to the sideline here. Do they go to the air? Do they keep it on the ground? Hartbarger lines up to the right. Kalkworth and Shirk to the left, with Shirk in the slot and Kalkworth the wideout. Shotgun formation here for the Falcons with Waller. He's going to pass, throws it left. He's got a 1st down. That's Kalkworth here on the near side. Gets tackled out of bounds. And looks like AP is going to move the chains. Yep, the official on the near sideline signals 1st down. They will move the chains. Oh, they got Jason, it was a touchback, so they started right at the 20-yard line. They got just exactly what they needed to the 30-yard line to move the chains on that set of downs.
Yep, Kalkworth coming up with his 2nd reception of the game. He's got 8 yards receiving, so 4-yard average each time. They're kind of dumping it off to him in the flat, seeing if he can get some open space, but Dike-New Hartford right there to make the tackle.
There's movement up front. It looks to be on D&H. AP was stoic at the line the whole time, and it looks like this is going to be a 5-yard walk-off here for the Falcons, moving it from 1st and 10 to 1st and 5. So offside the call on D&H.
5-yard offside.
And Jason, those can be killers, you know, for a defense. Even though it's 5 yards, that makes it that much easier for AP to move the chains on this set of downs. Now 1st and 5.
Yep, that's just one of those defensive mistakes that the coordinators kind of cringe at, and it gives AP some momentum here as they take the ball and run it up the field for another 2 or 3 yards here with
Prusner fighting for yardage on a handoff up the middle, took it to the left a little bit, out to the 38. So that one picks up 3. 2nd down and about 2 coming up for the Falcons here. 4:15 and ticking here in the 1st quarter. A very quick moving quarter so far. Neither team has scored. Dike-New Hartford and Aplington-Parkersburg. And the Falcons break the huddle with a single wideout to each side. Devin Eberhardt motions. They hand it to him on a sweep right. Looks to turn the corner. He's got the 1st down across the 40. Moves the chains here for the Falcons. It was 2nd and 2. Picked up about, we'll call it just over 3 yards. 3-yard carry on a sweep handoff to Eberhardt. And I like that play design right there.
Yeah, that's a jet sweep that we saw AP running quite a bit last week against Grundy Center. Gets him 3 yards this time and a set of fresh downs here. 1st down.
1st and 10, Aplington-Parkersburg at their own 42-yard line. The ball is spotted right hash, and they line up in the pistol full house formation. Creighton Eberhardt motions out to the left, now lines up in the slots. Prusner in the backfield. It's QB keeper Waller. Jukes to the right. Looks to turn the corner. Got a 1st down across the 50. And the Falcons move the chains yet again. Heck of a carry by Benny Waller. And now a flag comes in after the play was over.
Tackle was made by Mills.
And that is usually not a good sign when it comes after the play like that. That's usually, you're usually looking at a personal foul when that happens. And the down marker moved all the way back to the 42-yard line. And the officials are getting together, and that would be an absolute killer if this is against AP, because it would negate a 1st down carry by Waller. So now they take an official's timeout. Right now the ball is spotted at the Dike-New Hartford 48-yard line. And AP is trotting backwards as if the penalty is against them.
Yeah, that's too bad. Waller finally got some room up there up the middle, an 11-yard run for a first down.
And they are measuring it, though. They're bringing it out to measure. So this will be interesting. Because if it's against AP, so they signal first down Falcons, but if the penalty is against them, it might turn into a first and long. And there, again, there's been no indication of a penalty either way here. You saw the Falcons react as if it was against them. They were walking backwards. And yeah, it's going to be a penalty against AP. They're going to march this back quite a ways, it looks like. Back to the 30. Looks like the 36-yard line is where they'll place it down.
Keeper by Waller picks up the first down with the penalty.
So a penalty against Aplington-Parkersburg in the category of personal foul.
36-yard line.
And that's a killer for the Falcons. Now they'll have to pick up that same yardage again and then some. However, if there's any silver lining, it is a 1st and 10 rather than a 1st and 25. So 1st and 10 back at their own 36-yard line on the right hash. And they'll try to gain back that yardage here. And again, you don't have to do it on this play either. And now a jump up front. Oh, they're going to let it go. There was more flinching. It is a plunge up the middle that ultimately gains about 5 yards. That was Devin Eberhardt getting the carry for the Falcons from the wingback position. Ends up gaining right around 5 yards. Will bring up 2nd and 5.
Gain 5 yards brings up
Yeah, Eberhardt's sitting on 16 yards right now. He's got 3 carries, so just a little over 5 yards a carry. Good run up the middle there.
Team's up to 37 rushing yards as well. 2nd down and 5 AP at their own 41. Handoff, Devin Eberhardt again. This one is busted. DNH blew that play up on the sweep right to Eberhardt. Several Wolverine defenders in there to help make the tackle. Now it's going to be 3rd down and just over 5. Looks like they may have lost a yard. Yeah, they say a host here in the PA, so hard to tell who exactly got that Wolverine tackle. But now, Jason, a chance for this AP offense to really kind of dig deep, see what they're made of. 3rd down and 6, back in their own territory.
Yeah,
see if they can bounce back from that penalty.
Yeah, we'll see if they go to the air here. Been looking for
pistol full house. Handoff, Prusner lowers the shoulders up the. Oh no! Prusner carried out the fake very well. Faked me out as well. It was a keeper by Waller, assisted up around the 45-yard line. This is going to be just shy of the sticks. It'll be 4th and 1 after Waller picks up 5.
Tackle made by Davis.
Definitely a spot where you should probably go for it here if you're AP. We'll see what they elect to do here on 4th down and short.
It looks like they're going to keep their offense out there.
Definitely a good call here, I would say, especially with how they've been able to move the ball. So single wideouts to each side, and Waller's going to line up under center. I formation, lowers the shoulders. They're going to try to push him forward, and it looks to be enough for a 1st down. Got the surge from behind. And yep, White Hat points west. That's a 1st down for AP.
Picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, Waller was met there right at the line of scrimmage. That 2nd effort, he gets the push and picks up a couple yards for the 1st down. Waller up to 23 yards rushing.
Continuing to be a focal part of this offense here for AP. Couple pass completions as well. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Waller out of the shotgun, back to throw. Takes off to the right. Now he runs forward across the 50-yard line. Taken down from behind at about the 47-yard line of Dike-New Hartford. Nice little quarterback carry there for Waller. Couldn't find anything he was looking for downfield. Decided to take it himself. And one of AP's best athletes ends up making a play. Picks up about 7 yards, and that'll bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. Dike-New Hartford and Aplington-Parkersburg are scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter's next.
Mitchell Drawley.
We head to the second quarter here at Ed Thomas Field, and they just had a little bit of a moment here at the field to honor the life of Mitchell Drawley, who had numerous impacts on the Aplington-Parkersburg School District and athletics over the years, who passed away earlier this season. And the Falcons are wearing patches on their jerseys here in their home games in his honor. So a fantastic way to honor a lost Falcon here from over the summer. So we head to the second quarter, tied at 0 between Aplington-Parkersburg and Dike-New Hartford. John Mowinkle, Jason Eaton with you here. And the Falcons have second down and 4 at the 47-yard line of Dike-New Hartford. Ball spotted just right of center, a little closer to the right hash mark than the middle of the field. Under center here is Waller. And a delay. No, it's going to be a QB keeper. Waller lowers the shoulders, gets stood up. Forward progress will be stopped.
And that's
Check
going
the
to
replay here.
Signaling a first down there. He's got a 5-yard carry there out of Waller.
Just enough for the first down out to the 42-yard line in Dike-New Hartford territory. So nice run for Waller there. You know, not a lot of times that you see your quarterback, you know, run aggressively like that, but that's what Benny Waller brings to the table here for AP in that running QB position. So they break the huddle here on first down and 10. Ball spotted right hash here at the 42-yard line of Dike-New Hartford. A single wide receiver to each side and a tight end of the formation. That's Eberhardt. Handoff Prusner. Lowers the shoulders, plunges across the 40, and it stops. In there to help make the stop, Ryder Palmersheim and others for Dike-New Hartford. Second down and about 6 coming up. They'll spot the ball at the 38-yard line.
Tackle made by Davis.
This is kind of AP's MO, chunk yardage. That's what they look to do.
5.
Gain of 5 that time around. So it'll bring up second down and 5. AP, again, similarly to what they've been able to do throughout the season so far. You know, last week at Grundy Center, move the ball in chunks. But last week they shot themselves in the foot with some costly mistakes. In the pistol, Waller, a little bit of a high snap, handoff. Prusner tries dancing out of a tackle. Play is blown up. He may have gotten back to the line at best. So it's going to be third down here for AP. And they're going to move the down marker back about a half yard. So third down and a long 6 coming up here for the Falcons. Just underway here in the second quarter, 10-25 and ticking. Neither team has scored between D&H and AP.
Yeah, and these drives by AP, only benefits them. You know, they're grinding out the ball, wearing down that Dike-New Hartford defense as the running game's starting to come around a little bit for the Falcons here in the second quarter.
Possibly a passing situation. Empty backfield. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Quick screen to left. They find Prusner. Oh, the blocking was set up. He's able to spin out of a tackle. And he gets absolutely pummeled by several white Wolverine jerseys. So that play was blown up. They couldn't get the blocking they were looking for. And there is a penalty marker, though, however.
Face mask.
Face mask against Dike-New Hartford. So that is going to be a first down for AP via penalty. Holy smokes.
Face mask call on the Wolverines will give Falcons.
Now remember, AP had a pretty costly penalty earlier on in the drive, back in the first quarter. And D&H might have just given them one back right there with a face mask. So that'll move the ball down to the 22-yard line. Falcons on the verge of the red zone here with 9:49 to go in the second quarter. Shirk comes in off the sideline to replace Kalkorff at receiver. And here we go. They break the huddle. Hartbarger lines up as the wide out right side. Shirk to the left. Pistol full house here with Waller. He takes the snap. QB keeper takes it up the middle. Shoots out of a tackle. Takes off to the left. Spun down inside the 10-yard line. What a run for Benny Waller with the Falcons. And AP has first and goal. Walston there to bring him down for D&H. First and goal coming up. Down at about the 7-yard line. It was a designed run the whole way. Waller able to use a couple of juke moves, make a couple guys miss, and the Falcons are on the verge of scoring down to the east end of Ed Thomas Field. Now we got whistles. D&H has called a timeout here with 9:02 to go in the second quarter. And the AP fans coming to their feet. Happy with what they've seen from their team so far. And Jason, I mean, AP isn't doing anything flashy out here. It's just ground and pound football. They're playing very well fundamentally, I would say. Again, except for that one penalty back earlier in this drive, this is exactly what AP is looking to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, like Coach Betts from Dike-New Hartford said earlier in the week, when he was scouting his team, he saw flashes, some flashbacks of what he thought, was kind of like an Ed Thomas offense. There's some tweaks here and there, but definitely just a ground and pound game where they're trying to wear down the defense. And like I said earlier, it's going to bode well for AP if they can keep the drives going with those runs 3-4 yards at a time. Dike-New Hartford is going to get tired, and ball control is going to help AP here.
And the Falcons have chewed a ton of clock here in this game as well. Dike-New Hartford just had that one drive. They've only had one possession so far. Took maybe a few minutes at best off the clock, but otherwise AP has held the ball for almost the entire game so far.
Absolutely, and Waller's starting to heat up. He's ripping off some longer runs. He's had a 15-yard run and a 10-yard run. It's up to 49 yards rushing.
So the D&H timeout is over with 9:02 to go second quarter. We're still scoreless, but AP's on the doorstep here with 1st and goal at the 7. One wide out to the near side. That is Brandon Hartbarger. Pistol full house. Waller, handoff fullback. Devin Eberhardt gets blown up in the backfield. At best, he got back to the line, and it's going to be 2nd down and goal. They're going to move the down marker back about a half yard. So 2nd and goal from the 8. Shirt comes in to replace Kalkworth here to receiver for AP. I'll tell you about some other games going on throughout these teams' districts here in just a little bit as well. But again, these teams are not only in different districts, in different classes. AP's in Class 1A, D&H is up to Class 2A here this year. 2nd down and goal from the 8. Pistol full house here. Creighton Eberhardt to the right, Devin to the left, and he motions to the right with Prusner in the backfield. And now we got a whistle, and a timeout has been called by Aplington-Parkersburg as the play clock was winding down to 0. So Jeff Pikna maybe didn't like the defensive look he was getting from the Wolverines there, so we'll make some adjustments here with 8:16 to go in the first half. And again, a scoreless tie between the Wolverines and Falcons. Elsewhere in 1A District 4, that's AP's district. Or excuse me, that is AP's district. Columbus Catholic is hosting Grundy Center. Sumner Fredericksburg is at Denver. Hudson is hosting Cascade. Union is hosting South Tama, and Jessup is at Vinton-Shellsburg. An all NICL district for Aplington-Parkersburg in this particular district cycle. Meanwhile, in 2A District 4, that's D&H's district. Hampton-Dumont Cal is hosting Clarion Goldfield Dows. Denver hosting Sumner Fredericksburg, so another crossover there with this with these two same districts. Roland Story is hosting Des Moines Christian. Vinton-Shellsburg hosting Jessup, and Olwine is hosting Walk-On. So the huddle has been broken here. Each team has used one timeout here in the first half so far, and they both have 2 left.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see AP try and go for the end zone here with a pass. I mean, they got a couple downs to play with. Definitely 4-down territory for them.
It's been a while since they've thrown the ball as well. Hartbarger, the single receiver to the near side, and Shirk to the left. Pistol full house. Delayed handoff left side. It's Prusner. Looks to slide the hips through the contact. Forward progress is blown dead. Looks to be a little bit shy of the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up. And now the officials will blow the play dead, stop the clock. One of the D&H players is down with an injury here. So we'll stop the clock here with 8:05 to go in the first half. And one of the Wolverine defenders is down on his back injured. So we will step aside for a moment here on 99 The Wave. Also Radio on the Go on YouTube. Stoked that you're taking in this broadcast there as well. 8 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first half. We'll step aside momentarily.
see Wolverine back up and going.
8:05 to go here in the second quarter. Lane Gersh of D&H was down on the field with an injury. Looked like they were just massaging that calf, trying to work out a cramp. So good to see that he's walking off the field. So here we go. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for AP. 3rd down and goal from the 5. Falcons on the verge of scoring here. I'll run the clock here. Just over 8 minutes to go, second quarter. And the Falcons with a chance to strike in a scoreless tie. Hartbarger lines up as the wideout on the near side. Pistol full house formation here with Waller. He's gonna take it straight forward, but the play is blown up. Several Wolverine defenders in there to bring him down. So it's gonna be 4th down and goal. But again, you're probably gonna see AP go for it, unless they're confident in their field goal unit. The offense is staying out for now, Jason, here on 4th and goal from the 5.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, your first red zone entry of the game, 4 down territory, no doubt for AP. Not surprised that they're going to keep their offense on the field here.
So interesting play call coming up. Let's see what Coach Pikna's got in his arsenal here. 4th and goal from the 5. Falcons going for it. And they're going to spread out the formation. 2-by-2 receivers with Brusner in the backfield. And there is a flag that comes in. A delay of game. Holy smokes. They maybe just forgot about the play clock almost. So that's going to back him up 5 yards. And again, it's probably not going to change the decision here to go for it, but that makes it literally twice as tough because you were at the 5 and now you're backed up to the 10. So some personnel changes here for the Falcons. Aiden Merrill comes in. He replaces Creighton Eberhard. So 4th and goal now from the 10 for Aplington-Parkersburg. And the Wolverine corners are they're gonna play off a little bit. Playing back. Waller being flushed out to the right, looking to throw. He's going to be taken down to the backfield. Back at the 14-yard line, a loss of 4, and Aplington-Parkersburg turns it over on downs.
Waller is brought down by Hayes.
Hayes in there to make the stop for Dike-New Hartford, and they will take over back to their own 14-yard line. This is going to be their first possession in quite a bit of game time since early in the first quarter. So they'll switch back and head the opposite direction now. 6:42 to go in this second quarter. And the Wolverines break the huddle here. Picorni will line up under center. Looks like Gavin Jerbrock has checked in at halfback. They hand it to him on a dive to the right. Tries spinning out of a tackle, but he's brought down. No gain at best. Looks like Devin Eberhard was one of the Falcons there to help make the stop. Gavin Allen in the area as well. And he's going to lose a yard back to the 13-yard line.
Gavin
Jerbrock, one of those guys that had a few touchdowns last week, only had 8 carries. But he and Dev Davis, big ground gainers here for the Wolverines. They switch to the shotgun now with 2 wide receivers left. And another handoff. There was a good hole initially, but a surge by the AP front line was able to close it up. And it's going to be 3rd and long now here for D&H. Trying to see who that was on the carry. Sometimes these can be really tough to see, especially when they're down in the corners of the field like this. They haven't announced it either. It'll be 3rd down and 11 here for Dike-New Hartford. The line to gain is the 25-yard line in their own territory. 2 wide receivers to each side of the formation now. Picorni back to throw. Throws it left. It's going to be caught here on the near side of the field. Right around the sticks. It was caught by Quinn Mills. He was able to turn the corner at around the 25-yard line, just enough to move the sticks, and Dike-New Hartford has a 1st down.
Reception by Mills picks up the 1st down for the Wolverines.
First completion of the game for Courtney. Had 2 incomplete passes to start the game, but completes that one to Mills for 11 yards.
Just enough for a Wolverine 1st down. They're now at the 25-yard line in their own territory. Ball spotted left hash. Jerbrock in as the halfback. And he receives the handoff, takes it right, squirts through a hole, sheds out of an ankle tackle, and a solid tackle by Aiden Merrill of the Falcons. Lowered the shoulder into him, and that was pretty textbook right there. Lowered the shoulders, brought him down, and it ends up limiting what could have been a long run by Jerbrock.
Gain of 5 on the run.
Picks up 5 yards just across the 30-yard line. D&H still in their own territory here. Down to 5 minutes to go in the first half. 2 wide receivers each side. And handoff front. No, QB keeper Picorni. And he's going to be brought down by the AP defensive front. Colbin Hoppenworth, one of the Falcons, there to make the stop out there on the D-line. 3rd and short coming up for the Wolverines. They'll say that gain about 3. It'll be 3rd down and a long. We'll call it 3rd and 1.5, if you will. Does that sound good to you, Jason? 3rd and 1.5?
That sounds good to me. Both these teams really trying to establish their run, and just a lot of back and forth right now. This is getting pretty interesting here.
So here we go, 3rd down and 1 for the Wolverines. Handoff fullback right. This one is blown up in the backfield. Maybe back to the line for James Wingert, a fullback getting a carry. Number 23 of the Wolverines. So this will bring up a 4th down. No, it's going to be a 1st down. Holy smokes, just enough to pick up the first.
It looked like a fairly generous spot to me based on where AP stopped him, but refs give it to him, so yeah. 1st down.
4:04 to go here in the first half. Still a scoreless tie between Dike-New Hartford and Aplington-Parkersburg. 2 wide receivers to each side. Gerbrocht is the halfback. It's a QB keeper left. That's Picorni. Looks to turn the corner. And he gets to the 40-yard line. A flag comes in. We could hear some of the members of the crowd here yelling for holding out of the left side of the offensive line.
Brought down by Merrill.
And we'll get the call here from the officials.
Marker on the field.
Good play design after faking the handoff for Picorni, and it is going to be holding against Dike-New Hartford. So that'll back him up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And again, Jason, these can be killers in a game like this, especially, you know, neither team has given up a lot except that last drive by D&H. I mean, it's points appear to be hard to come by in this game. So those kinds of penalties can be huge killers in a game like this. Now they got 3 bunched up receivers on the right side, 1 man to the left. Picorni, design QB run to the right, looks to turn the corner and does, and gets spun down by the Falcon defenders. So now it's going to be 2nd and long. Gains a couple yards on the play.
Picorni keeps the ball, brought down by Jacobson.
Luke Jacobson there to make the stop for Aplington-Parkersburg. A safety running downhill and making the stop. That's an impressive play for a safety to make. And now we got Devin Eberhardt running to the sideline. Looks like maybe some kind of equipment issue. He's going to get subbed out. Rylan Asher is going to come in here for the Falcons. 2nd down, what do they call it here? 15 for Dike-New Hartford. 3:12 and ticking to go in the first half. Scoreless tie here at Ed Thomas Field. 2 receivers each side. Picorni in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap and looks to throw. Under some pressure, dumps it off right on a screen. It's blown up. It was Dev Davis on the catch. Several Falcons in there to help make the stop. Parker Mulder was one of them.
Screen pass to Davis.
So it'll be 3rd and long now for Dike-New Hartford. Asher in there to help make the stop as well. Down to 2.5 minutes to go here in this first half. And man, if you're Dike-New Hartford, I wonder if you're just trying to chew some clock here. Now remember, Dike-New Hartford kicked off to start the game, so they are scheduled to receive the second half kickoff. That could play in big here as well. 3rd down and 12 Wolverines. A little bit of a wobbly snap to Picorni, looking to throw. Now he takes off upfield, looks to turn the corner, and he is slung down. Only gains a couple yards. A big-time stop by Wes Shirk. Let's see if the Falcons use a timeout here. There's 2 minutes left. Clock is still running.
Brings up 4th down for the Wolverines.
And the Wolverines will bring the punt unit out. And the clock's still running here at 1:48. No timeout called by the Falcons. D&H can run this down to about 1:20 before they have to snap it here. This is not going to give AP much time here. So Picorni does line up as the punter. And Shirk is back to receive. It's blocked, partially blocked by the Falcons. It's going to be, where's the ball? Bouncing out to the right side. And it's going to be AP ball regardless. Actually, So it was hit by AP. If it was recovered by D&H, could that be Wolverine ball?
I think it is. I think if they do recover it, that'll be a first down for them.
Oh boy. We're gonna have a big moment in this game right here, right now. Big time call coming up. All depends on who got on top of it. They're gathered together, the officials are. And it's going to be Dike-New Hartford football. A blocked punt, a partially blocked punt by AP that was recovered by Dike-New Hartford.
Yeah, I mean, how often does that happen, John, right? You make a great play blocking a punt, and the other team that's punting ends up with a fresh set of downs.
Holy smokes. 1st and 10 Wolverines back at their own 34-yard line now. Under center here in an offset I formation. It's a handoff. Davis still on his feet, spun out of one tackle and is brought down after a short gain. What a crucial moment that could prove to be. There's 1 minute left here in the first half. 2nd down and about 6 coming up for the Wolverines. Clock still running here, and both teams still have 2 timeouts. I formation here for Dike-New Hartford. Counter play to the right. This is Davis. He gets slung down. And now Pikna calls a timeout.
Davis on the carry.
It stops the clock with 40 seconds left. So that is AP's 2nd timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. Well, Jason, the clock management here, it's always a quandary. I mean, there's never, ever one absolutely correct answer, but, you know, you got to wonder if D&H picks up this first down, you know, that timeout that AP just called, you know, maybe only would ultimately hurt them in the long run because it gives D&H more time. You just never know. But always kind of a quandary for coaching staffs to have to figure out, but definitely I would say a smart timeout there with 40 seconds left. See if AP can get another stop here after they just had one not too long ago.
Yeah, I agree. I think the timeout, just get the kids settled down a little bit. I mean, both teams are pretty amped up here, and, you know, it's a big 3rd down here.
3rd and 6. Wolverines have it at their own 38-yard line. All this after a partially blocked punt by AP that was recovered by D&H behind the sticks. So that kept them with possession here. 3rd down and 6 Wolverines at their own 38-yard line. Picorni back to throw from under center. Loads up, fires a deep right. It's going to be intercepted by Hartbarger. Intercepted by Aplington-Parkersburg. That's Hartbarger's 3rd of the season. So the Falcons will take over with 34 seconds left in the first half. After the Hartbarger INT. So the Falcons ultimately do get possession here. Now they have 1 timeout. They have the ball at their own 35-yard line. And if you're Jeff Pikna and the AP staff, you're probably looking to push this ball downfield here, at least on these first couple of plays.
Yeah, AP, no doubt, going to keep trying to establish that running game. They've had a really good first half on the ground.
So here we go. 1st and 10. Waller. Oh, it's a fake. It's going to be a reverse sweep. Eberhardt sheds out of a tackle. Here, a flag comes in. 2 flags come in. A 3rd flag comes in. Holy smokes.
I think we're going to see a holding call here.
Big run by Devin Eberhardt, but there are 2 flag markers on the field.
So 3 penalty markers were thrown. 1 on the far side, 1 on the near side, and 1 on the defensive backfield. This is going to get marched back a ways. It was a great broken tackle by Devin Eberhardt, but it looks like it's not going to matter. And the officials are gathered together. And this referee here in the white hat looks like he's about to, yeah, he's making sure he's got everything all right. He's about to rattle off like 3 different penalty calls here, it looks like. So now they got to decide where they're going to place the football. So they bring it back to the original. Okay, so we got holding AP. That's declined. Holding on AP again. Looks like that's going to be accepted. And I guess the 3rd flag was just for good measure. Interesting.
Yeah, either way, it's going to drive AP back. It's going to be 1st and 20.
Backs them up 10
Now,
yards on 1st and 20.
now if you're AP, taking a knee probably looks like a better idea at this point. With 22 seconds left, the clock is running. And they do not even have to snap it. Neither team is going to use a timeout, it appears. The game clock is just ahead of the play clock. So it looks like we will run this thing down to halftime in a scoreless tie. And oh boy, Jason, looks like we got us a classic rumbling here in this AP-DNH rivalry. 0-0 as we head to halftime on 99 The Way. We've reached halftime at Ed Thomas Field in Parkersburg. Dike-New, Hartford, and Aplington-Parkersburg are tied at 0. And we've got a special guest here up in the broadcast booth for tonight's halftime show. That's Aplington-Parkersburg volleyball coach Candace Klespies. Coach, heck of a game we got going on here, isn't it?
Good first half. You know, it's, to be 0-0 with Dike and you're still in the game, that's always a good thing.
You bet. So, Falcon volleyball team currently ranks number 9 in Class 2A. 10-1 on the season so far, fresh off of a sweep of Waterloo Columbus on the home court last night. While it's fresh on your mind, just what are your thoughts on that match last night, how your team was able to really just take care of business in that first home conference match?
Yeah, last night we, you know, coming off a Tuesday night, we didn't serve the ball well and we didn't serve receive well, and those are two aspects that we take very strong in our gym, and those are the two aspects we want to win every night we go out. And so you know, we had a hard practice on Wednesday and really focused in on those two things, and came out last night and our serving really got us the win last night.
You bet. So 3-0 sweep. Always great to start conference play 1-0. Tuesday night, you went 1-1 in a triangular with Valley Lutheran and an always tough North Tama team, currently ranked number 2 in Class 1A. What's kind of your take? I know you mentioned the serving was maybe not where it should have been that night as well.
Yeah, serving was a big aspect of it, and then we knew North Tama, they're a high-quality 1A team. I mean, they could compete with any of the top 5 in 2A and even some 3A, 4A teams. And so, Ewalt, their senior left pin, is leading the state in kills for all classes. And so we knew that we were going to have to play some good defense and, just get some touches on her balls. And she was just a really smart player, and their libero picks up a lot of balls also. And so, we had quite a few girls that were getting kind of their first start of varsity, and then that was your first one in front of your home crowd. And so, we didn't come out exactly how we wanted to, but we were still right there, and we battled. So.
You bet. One of the big question marks when we talked back earlier in the August was going to be the setter position. You graduated a great one with Bella Boozman last year. And Julia Mostek, 205 assists on the year so far. What can you say about her kind of taking over that position, always a crucial position?
Yeah, that setter spot's a big one. And I kind of really hone in on that position because I played it in high school some. And so, but it's so big for us because we have so many options hitting-wise. And so, Julia has stepped in and has done a tremendous job, just really mixing up the offense, coming in with confidence, not playing a varsity at all. And I feel like she's doing a really great job for us so far.
You bet. And then a decent amount of returning experience with your big hitters. Zoe Eulenhop, 71 kills on the year, hitting at .406. Extremely solid there. Yeah. We knew she had great potential after what she showed last year. Jensen Closter doing great here in her sophomore year. Colby Wangsness, you knew what you were going to get from her for the most part as well. So when it comes to kind of some of that offensive firepower, what's your take on how that's kind of come along here this year?
Yeah, and that's one of the things we talked early with Julia about is we have so many options, and we talk about that team-wise too. We are not a team that's going to have one girl that has super high kills and then the next ones are way, way down. We really like to spread our offense out. We think that helps us. And then to know that if one night one girl is just not able to kind of get it done, then we have another 4 or 5 that can. And so, that just alleviates some of that stress too in that center position, knowing that whoever you give the ball to, they're going to get it done for you.
You bet. You guys have any sort of team mottos or words to live by, things that you're kind of really focusing on here this year?
Yeah, a big one that we talked about this year is it's sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. And so that goes into kind of what we talked about how one night, maybe one set, with a matchup-wise, it might be our middles that we really got to push because of our matchup. And then the very next set, it could be we're going to use our right side a little bit more. So, one night it could be you, one night it could be me, but we all have to be there playing our best ball.
You bet. Big one coming up on Tuesday night, a road trip to number 1 ranked in Class 2A Denver, the defending state champions. That's a team that, I'm thinking back to last year, you had at least one, maybe 2 really close matches with them. I know in the conference tournament, that's certainly one that I have to imagine is on you guys' minds coming to this one on Tuesday.
Yep, that is definitely one that, a lot of us wish we could get back. We were right there. We had them. But, that's okay. That happens. And so they're going to be tough. I mean, they have everybody returning, and they're pretty much all seniors except for libero, and just have played with a lot of experience. And so, it's going to be a fast-paced offense. They're a good serving team also. And so we're just going to have to go in, and we're just going to have to battle.
Mm-hmm. Battle is what it's going to take, and obviously, Denver, number 1 ranked, as mentioned, in Class 1A, but again, this year the NICL represented all throughout the Class 1A and 2A rankings. Union down to Class 2A as well this year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, so that's going to be another one of those NICL teams that's probably going to shake it up in Class 2A as well. So I know in the last couple of years the NICL has graduated a lot of talent, but they've been able to rebuild as a whole. Just what can you say about this fantastic league?
Yeah, as if 2A wasn't, we didn't have enough competition to add them down there too, and so, But, you know, in the first rankings, I think we had like 9 or 10 of the 15 were ranked. And so in just 2A. And so, you know, it is a great thing to have, to be able to play in this league, to play in the NICL and play the best teams in the state night in and night out. It can get a little draining sometimes if you get a couple losses back to back, but the big thing that we try to tell the girls too is the girls union does such a tremendous job of rewarding the teams that play tough schedules. And so win or loss, it's just going to help us for the postseason.
You bet. So that's coming up on Tuesday night. That'll be right here on 99 The Wave. Looking forward to covering that one on Tuesday. And then always big home tournament coming up the following Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Looks like a similar field, but maybe some new additions in there for that home tournament, huh?
You know, as if it wasn't tough enough, we decided to get a little tougher. We brought in Charles City is coming in, a really good 4A team that was ranked preseason. And then we're bringing in Roland Story, who is also in the top 10, I'm pretty sure, in 3A. So it was a tough tournament to start with, and now it is all 8 teams are going to be battling top 10 teams in their class. And so if you want to see some good volleyball, it's going to be a good volleyball day.
All right, we'll certainly catch you there on Tuesday night up at Denver. Anything else, any final thoughts you'd like to share at this time before we wrap up?
Yeah, just really excited with where the girls are at already this early in the season. We got a long ways to go, but we're really happy with the things that they're doing.
All right, that's Aplington-Parkersburg volleyball coach Candace Cluspy joining me here on Radio On The Go Sports. Thanks so much for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we will take time out here on our Wiffles Hybrids halftime show. We're back at Ed Thomas Field. Halftime between Aplington-Parkersburg and Dike-New Hartford. We are tied at 0. Wiffles Hybrids is pleased to bring you tonight's halftime show. When you plant Wiffles, you're not just choosing superior seed corn, you're making a statement. One that says staying independent, staying family owned means something on your farm. So make your choice, plant Wiffles Hybrids. John Mokel here inside the press box at Ed Thomas Field, and another halftime interview right now is Brady Driscoll. Right now is focusing on being an assistant cross-country coach for the high school program. Later on in the fall, start focusing on the girls basketball team. But how about this cross-country team right now? Checking into the Class 1A rankings a little bit, I understand, right?
Yeah, both on the boys' side, the individual with Trevin jumping in there at 18, and then the girls as a team jumping in at 18 too. And, we haven't ran Charlie Endelman yet, and she's going to debut this week, I guess, at Union, hopefully, and hopefully have a full crew run on Thursday for the first time this year, so we can see what some damage they can do.
You bet. You guys were at Pine Lake last night down at South Hardin. What's kind of your take on how things went at that particular meet here last night?
Yeah, if anybody knows that course, that's not it's not an easy course. A lot of hills, that one. So at times, you kind of look at your first meet compared to that one, and you're expecting some 45 second to a minute and a half slower times, but we actually had some people that ran faster than they did at Mains Grove, and comparing times to last year at Pine Lake versus this year, they improved all by about a minute and a half, so you can tell they're getting stronger, getting better, both on the boys side and the girls side. With so many new kids on the girls side, freshmen coming in and running, you don't have time to kind of compare them to. And then on the boys side, with some new faces for us, not exactly freshmen, but just new to the cross-country team, we're excited about where they're at right now, and we're only going to keep getting better.
You bet. And another big change this year, the change down to Class 1A. So that's going to kind of open up some opportunities, isn't it, right? As far as kind of maybe the level of competition is going to allow you guys to maybe be able to do a lot more damage in the postseason.
Yeah,
right?
We're certainly hoping so. I mean, the big difference with 1A to 2A at those district sites, they take the top 10 individuals, where 2A you take the top 15, and on the team side of things, 1A you take the top 2 instead of the top 3 in 2A, but probably less teams that can field a full 5. And those sites came out the other day, so we're kind of looking and trying to map out. It's hard this early to see where we might go, but probably potential of Mason City Newman is a host site, Starmont's a host site, and down in Jewell, South Hamilton's a host site. So, we got north, east, or south covered. So, wherever we go, we feel good about it. And it's exciting to see risers on the team coming up and jumping in the rankings. It brings excitement towards that postseason.
You bet. So be on the lookout for AP cross country here as we go along down the stretch of the season here. I guess only getting started pretty much here still, but a lot of meets left before the postseason. When it comes to basketball, what's kind of the offseason been like? A lot of open gyms and stuff over the summer?
Yeah, keeping them in the gym, keeping them busy. Not too busy to where it's overwork for them, because I think they're getting pulled in so many different directions. And you still want to have a summertime, but a couple times a week for a little bit. Getting shots up, and then every year we go to a team camp or two, and this year we went to a new one in Des Moines that they were testing out, and played some good different teams down there, and it went pretty well. Summer too, you have a hard time getting everybody together at the same time with softball vacations, all this stuff. And then Wartburg too, we went to again this year, and played a lot of different teams there too, and won some games and lost a couple by single digits, by even less than 5. I think 2 games by 4. So we're excited about what we have returning and what's coming up for us. And in the NICL, like volleyball, like every other sport, cross country too, we got a lot of ranked teams. It's no different in basketball too. It's a grind every night. So we like where we're at and like what we got coming back, and the girls work hard every year for us. So we're excited about what we have coming back, like I said, and what we have coming up, big freshman class too. So we're excited about that.
You bet. We'll talk about that closer to November and stuff like that. Still a lot to get to here with this fall season. What else kind of keeps you busy here this time of year with school and everything?
Yeah, it's a grind now. With Carter taking the AD position, that kind of opened up some elementary PE classes. So I'm dipping down into the upper elementary levels now with 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and still having the middle school PE too. So it's a blast. We're having fun. I'm learning that tag can get you a long ways in elementary PE. But yeah, between that and cross country and looking at a whole bunch of different meet results, I've kind of been keeping my eye on a lot of different 1A, different competitors now that we're 1A. There's a lot of schools that I really don't look for, beating 2A in most things, but keeping your eye on some of that 1A competition and who's around us. And with us dropping down to Hudson, dropped down to 1A, Sumner Fred dropped down to 1A, and they're both the top 10. Hudson the top 5 team in cross country on the girls side. So just staying busy, keeping up with the scores of different places, and it's been a fun fall.
You bet. You're kind of big numbers analytics guy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah,
when it comes to scouting that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If someone walks in your office, would they just see like spreadsheets of all this stuff, or
my board usually, and if we get to postseason, man, I'll have study hall kids. We'll be charting. Hey, you track this number, see what they're doing, and it's a whole work in progress. I love it. It's fun, and especially on the cross country side, it's hard to cross country because different courses aren't, it's not like track where everything's the same. Some courses are hilly, some are flat, so times you can't really compare because you don't know what that course looks like. So that one's a little different, but I love diving into this stuff. It probably shows how much of a life I don't have at home. So, but it's fun. It's fun.
All good, man. We got about 2.5 minutes to go here till we start the second half, but that's been AP assistant cross country coach and head girls basketball coach Brady Driscoll joining me here on the Wiffles Hybrids halftime show. Appreciate the time, and we'll definitely catch you down the road.
You bet. Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll take a quick time out on 99 The Web. Let's head to the second half at Ed Thomas Field. 0-0 tie between Dike-New Hartford and Aplington-Parkersburg. John Mowinkle, Jason Eaton with you here, and Jason, heck of a first half. We just had maybe a couple missed opportunities for each team, and same as we started, 0-0. Looks like we might have an instant classic on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, this is what rivalry games is all about. It doesn't really matter what your record coming into them is, or what the past history is. I mean, these kids get amped up to play, and we're definitely seeing that here tonight. And like you said, take away a couple mistakes, and I think AP is probably up 7-0 right now. But
so the Falcons will kick off from left to right. They did do an onside last week at Grundy Center. They do kick it deep this time, and it bounces into the end zone over Dev Davis's head for a touchback. So Dike-New Hartford will begin the second half at their own 20-yard line, driving it from right to left down to the west end of Ed Thomas Field. And just a quick update on the first half stats. Dev Davis, 4 carries, 14 yards. Peyton Picorni, 2 for 5 passing for 14 yards. So D&H did not have a lot of possession time in the first half. We'll see what their philosophy here is if they try to Run chunk plays, chew clock. But here we go. Beautiful night at Ed Thomas Field. Temperature in the upper 50s. And they start in the shotgun formation. Handoff to the right side. And this one is going to be a short gain here. That was Dev Davis on the carry on the run to the right. 1 to 2 yards at best. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. They'll place it at the 22-yard line as we are underway here in this second half. 0-0 tie. The Falcons partially blocked a punt late in the first half, but it was recovered by D&H. And since AP had tipped it last, D&H got the possession. Davis running right. He's got some room to run. Oh, but he is tracked down and tackled shy of the sticks. Heck of a defensive play by Aplington-Parkersburg. I'll check the replay here. See we can see who got the tackle there.
Davis on the carry.
Davis takes it for about 5 or 6 yards. Hartford with a stop for Aplington-Parkersburg. And that was the 7th carry of the game, or make it the 5th carry of the game for Davis, up to 21 yards. Here we go, 3rd down and short for the Wolverines. 2 wide receivers left, hard count up front. Handoff left, this is Davis. Looks to turn the corner, he's got some space. Lowers the shoulders and lunges down just shy of the 40-yard line. Aiden Merrill in there to help make the stop for Aplington-Parkersburg. Devin Eberhardt there as well to help bring him down. 1st and 10 Wolverines out to the 39-yard line in their own territory. 10:40 and ticking here in the 3rd quarter in a scoreless tie. So some good runs here for Dike-New Hartford to get rolling in the second half. They break the huddle in their road white uniforms with blue numbers and text and blue pants, blue helmets with the white Wolverine logo on each side. Pistol formation here for Picorni, motion man, and a toss right here to Davis. And he is going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. There to spin him down, Luke Jacobson flying in there on the blitz. Heck of a defensive play there by Jacobson.
And Dike-New Hartford coming out the second half here, 4 straight runs with Davis, clearly looking to establish that running game that just couldn't really get going in the first half.
Falcons make a late substitution. One of their defenders sprints over to the sideline. 2nd down and 10. 9:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dike-New Hartford breaks the huddle pistol formation here for Picorni. It's a dive play. The ball is free. AP thinks they have it. The ball came free right as it was handed off, and the Falcons have a takeaway. Aplington-Parkersburg forces a Dike-New Hartford turnover, and the Falcons will take over at the Dike-New Hartford 38-yard line. What a defensive stop by the Falcons, forcing the turnover, and the Falcons will look to strike here and draw first blood in this game.
2nd turnover in the game for Dike-New Hartford. They had the interception late in the first half, and now a fumble. Good chance for AP to take some momentum and punch it in here.
1st and 10 Falcons at the 38-yard line of Dike-New Hartford. Driving down to the east end of Ed Thomas Field. Eberhardt motions left, now lines up at wingback. Fake the handoff, now the ball is free again, and Dike-New Hartford recovers it. Back-to-back fumbles, and D&H takes it right back at the 41-yard line. Holy cow.
Trading fumble recoveries, Wolverines.
So the Wolverines will take it right back after they coughed it up. The Falcons do the exact same thing. 1st and 10 Dike-New Hartford now at their own 41, and they waste no time in breaking the huddle here. Well, Jason, this game has had almost everything. Now back-to-back fumbles recovered by the defense.
Yeah, just a crazy way to start the second half. Both teams looking to settle down and settle in and try and get some points on the board.
Offset I formation, fullback handoff. Trying to plunge up the middle was Levi Folkerts of D&H. Gains a few yards at best. Ends up bouncing it out to the right side.
By Mulder.
Cooper Mulder in there to make the stop for Aplington-Parkersburg. They'll spot the ball out at the 44-yard line. Gains 3 on that carry for Folkerts. 2nd down and 7 Wolverines. Still over 9 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. A lot of action here early on in the second half. Now Folkerts motions. Shotgun snap, they hand off. Gerbrock takes it right, and he gets smothered in the backfield. Another great defensive play by the Falcons. Several AP defenders in there to help make the stop. And it's going to be 3rd down and long now for the Wolverines.
Davis on the carry, brought
And
down
Jason,
by
neither team
Top.
giving up much here in this second half so far.
Loss of 1.
Wolverines were able to move the ball fairly well on their first possession of this second half, but have run into some roadblocks here courtesy of the Falcon defense. They'll break the huddle here on 3rd down and 8 at their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers left. Fulkerts, the tight end, motions left. Handoff up the middle with some room to run, shy of the first down. It's going to be 4th and short for Dike-New Hartford. Emerging from the pile, Gavin Jerbrock of D&H. So decent yardage there. Let's see what the Wolverines elect to do here. It'll be 4th and 2. They're at their own 49. The line to gain is the plus 49. So decision time for Dike-New Hartford. Picorni remains on the field.
Yeah, with the way this game's gone back and forth, I mean, no surprise they're going to go for here. 4th down.
And here comes the Dike-New Hartford offense out onto the field. Picorni's going to line up under center. I formation. Fulkerts and Jerbrock into the backfield. And some movement up front. AP jumps off sides. And that's going to be a first down for Dike-New Hartford with a penalty.
I think they designed it that way, went with the hard count, see if they can get anybody to jump, and they got it, and they'll have a first down.
And for the Falcons, that's discipline right there. You got to go on movement, not on what you hear. Use your eyes, not your ears in that situation. First down and 10, Dike-New Hartford. The penalty moves it out to the 46-yard line in AP territory. Ball spotted on the right hash mark. Fulkerts motions. It's a high snap, bouncing around, and Picorni topples on it all the way back at his own 40. It's going to be a loss of 14 yards on the mishandled snap. And we'll check the replay here. Fulkerts motioned. Well, it wasn't too bad of a snap. I would say Picorni just wasn't quite ready for it. Maybe some miscommunication on the count. The ball was snapped, went through Picorni's fingertips and over top his head.
Now a second and really long situation for the Wolverines.
They'll call it second down and 23, back at their own 41-yard line. They say that is where he was down. 2 receivers left and 1 to the right. Here's the snap to Picorni. Handoff Jerbrock right. He's spun down to the backfield, and now it's going to be 3rd and forever. 3rd down and long. Jerbrock loses about a yard.
Met by Top.
Mason Kopp there to make the stop for the Falcons. 6:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and forever here for Dike-New Hartford. 3rd and 24 to be exact. The ball is spotted at their own 40. The line to gain is the opposite, 36. Picorni lines up in the shotgun. Jerbrock motions left. Here's the shotgun snap. Takes off, and now it's a throw to Walston. Looking to gain some yardage down the right side. He's brought down shy of the sticks around the 40. That was a great play design for Dike-New Hartford. It was a dump-off pass to the right to Aiden Walston. Not quite able to get enough, but now 4th down and manageable for the Wolverines. It's going to be 4th and about 6 in enemy territory at the 42. Fourth down and 6 at the 42-yard line of AP. Dike-New Hartford appears to be going for it. 2 wide receivers each side. Jerbrock to the backfield. Picorni takes the shotgun snap. Stepping to the right. Now takes off to the left. Looks to take off upfield. He's still on his feet. He breaks away from a tackle. Running to the right. Oh, he's somehow still up. Down inside the 20-yard line. Oh, my goodness, what a play by Peyton Picorni. Making guys miss. And it's first down, Dike-New Hartford, down inside the 20-yard line of Aplington-Parkersburg. What a play made by Dike-New Hartford quarterback Peyton Picorni. And they spot it just outside the 20 at the 21-yard line of AP. 5.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Now Dike-New Hartford in a position to strike first. Fulkerts motions. Handoff Jerbrock, jukes a man left. Still on his feet and is spun down.
Jerbrock on carry.
Man, Jason, 2 back-to-back extremely clutch plays by Dike-New Hartford here in this 3rd quarter. That catch and run by Aiden Walston And then that long run by quarterback Peyton Picorni.
Yeah,
what a run.
Yeah, I mean, hard to believe, too. It's the first time that Dike-New Hartford's been in the red zone.
That's insane. Second down at about 7. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line of Aplington-Parkersburg. 2 wide receivers line up to the left. Now we got a whistle blown. Looks like AP has called a timeout with 4 minutes and 43 seconds left in this third quarter.
Timeout for Falcons.
Maybe just a timeout there, regroup the defense, calm them down a little bit. Dike-New Hartford starting to get some momentum as they get into the red zone for the first time this second half.
So let's see what adjustments end up getting made here during this timeout. AP will have 2 left. Now for the rest of the game, D&H still with all 3. At halftime, Grundy Center leads Columbus Catholic 35-0. Not much of a surprise there. That one taking place over in Waterloo tonight. See if we can get some other score updates. So yeah, right now 4:43 to go in the third quarter. Let's see. AGWSR trails West Hancock 20-0 at halftime. That one is taking place in Britt this evening. So the timeout over with. 2nd and 7, Wolverines at the 18-yard line of AP. Still a scoreless tie here as we move along in this third quarter. Picorni will line up under center, I formation, Fulkerts and Gerbrock in the backfield. 2 wide receivers left. Gerbrock plunges up the middle, minimal yardage. Great stop up front by the Falcons.
Gerbrock on the carry, met immediately by Prusner.
Mason Prusner there to stop him. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long coming up for D&H. And that clock keeps on ticking here. Under 4.5 to go in this third quarter. I'll call it 3rd down and 7. No gain on the play for Gerbrock. Now they line up 2 wide receivers left. Soppy is into the game. Looks like possibly a hard count. Some flinching up front. Picorni fires it left, finds Walston, able to shed out of a tackle, lowers the shoulder to the 10. Looks to be enough for a first down D&H.
Pass to Walston complete.
The chains have not moved. Now they do.
Jacobson.
So they will spot the ball down just outside of the 10-yard line. Looks like it's at the 11. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line for Dike-New Hartford in AP territory. A heck of a drive put together by the Wolverines here in this third quarter. 2 explosive plays, one by Walston and one by Picorni. I formation with 2 wide receivers right. Back to throw Picorni. It's a pop pass. They find Block out to the right side, and that one is blown up on the screen. Block will head back over to the sideline.
Pass complete to Block, brought down by Jacobson.
Luke Jacobson again. And man, Jason, Luke Jacobson has had a heck of a night defensively here. Several tackles from that free safety position.
Yeah, catches him in the backfield that time. Loss of 3 on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 13.
2 wide receivers out to the left side. And here's a handoff left. It's Gerbrock, and he gets drugged down from behind. It was Allen that time of AP. The ball came free. They're still fighting for it on the ground, but he was clearly down. So
on the carry.
So now it's going to be another 3rd and long situation. They bring the ball all the way back to the 18. So back-to-back negative plays here for the Wolverines, courtesy of the Falcon defense. 3rd and 17 from the 18-yard line. And now, for both sides, for both teams, this is where you got to show some guts. Picorni starts in the shotgun with 2 wide receivers each side. He's back to throw. Under heavy pressure. Takes off to the right. Fires it. And he just throws it out of bounds. And a flag comes in at the very end of the play. That might be intentional grounding, actually. There was not really any receivers in the area.
But there is a flag on the field.
The throw went straight to the sideline. He was out of the pocket, Oh, illegal man downfield.
Receiver downfield on the Wolverines.
So that penalty obviously will be declined.
Deferred by the Falcons.
So it's going to be 4th and long now for D&H. And again, they're at the 18-yard line. 4th and 17. And you'd imagine, again, a spot where you're going to have to go for it, really.
Yeah, and AP doing a great job of containing Pikna. He's only had 36 yards passing. He's thrown an interception. And that time he was just hurried out of the pocket, had to get rid of it quick.
2 receivers to each side of the formation. Pikna in the shotgun, he takes the snap. Rolls out to the right on a bootleg, sets the feet, loads up, fires it to the corner of the end zone. It is caught for a Dike-New Hartford touchdown on 4th and long. Aiden Walston on a flyer out down the right side of the Wolverines. Strike first with 1:56 left in the third quarter.
Complete. Wolverines strike first.
And that brings the Wolverine crowd over on the far side to life. The student section is shooting off some confetti. And here comes an extra point attempt for Noah Connolly, number 3 of the Wolverines. Here with $1:56 left in the third quarter.
Block it, Red, block it!
Here's the snap, a high snap. They get the spot down, and the kick, a little wobbly, but it's good. And with 1:56 left in the third quarter, it's Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. $1:56 left in the third quarter. It was an 18-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Pikna to Aiden Walston, and Dike-New Hartford has struck first. They lead at 7-0 after the good extra point by Noah Connolly. And now the Wolverines will kick off from right to left. Boom. Ball is in the air. A little bit of a sidewinding kick. Bobbled by one of the upmen for AP, but it is returnable. Down to the 40-yard line and brought down. Let's see who ended up returning that for AP. Number 36, that was Owen Prusner on the return for the Falcons. Definitely was not expecting the ball to come straight to him, but he took advantage of an opportunity. So the Falcons will start it at their own 40-yard line. Ball spotted just right of center. 1:49 left in the third quarter. And a 7-0 lead for Dike-New Hartford over Aplington-Parkersburg here at Ed Thomas Field. That was a long, drawn-out drive by Dike-New Hartford. A couple of crucial plays. A long catch and run by Aiden Walston, and another long run by quarterback Peyton Pikna. Pistol formation here for Waller as the Falcons look to bounce back here on offense. Keeper for Waller. Plunges forward. And gains a few yards.
Keeper tripped up.
I misspoke. The original line of scrimmage was about the 36, not the 41. 5 yards off. So now they place it down to the 38 after Waller gains about 2. Under 90 seconds left in the third. Shirk comes in off the sideline. He replaces Braden Kalkwarf at receiver. And again, special teams have been huge in this game as well. This matchup always seems to come down to that. Falcons had a partially blocked punt late in the first half. And here's a quarterback keeper, Waller up the middle with some room to run. Dragged down to the Falcon logo at midfield.
Keeper picks up the first down for the Falcons.
That'll move the chains for AP from the 38 out to the 50. That's a pickup of 12. Nice run by Benny Waller on a QB keeper. And the defense could not stop him.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, almost a high snap there, but he was able to get to it and tuck it in and right up the middle for 12 yards.
Down in Sao Paulo, LA Chargers lead Kansas City 13-6 at halftime. 1st and 10, Aplington-Parkersburg. Ball spotted at midfield and in the center as well. Pistol full house, high snap for Waller. Hands off Prusner, plunges left. Minimal yardage on that play. They don't have to snap it again here in this third quarter if they so choose.
Gain of 2.
2 yards on the carry by Prusner. We're down to 20 seconds left in the third. Here comes Shurkin off the sideline. 14 seconds. They might try to get one off here. While D&H is still, defensively, might have a little bit less energy now than they would, but they are going to run the clock down, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. Everyone in this place is holding up the number 4. Let's head to the fourth quarter on 99 The Wave. Fourth quarter at Ed Thomas Field. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. The Falcons have 2nd and 8 at the opponent 48-yard line, just across midfield. Ball spotted near left hash. They'll start in the pistol formation with Waller. Movement up front. Probably against AP. I think they jump first. Yep, false start on Aplington-Parkersburg. So again,
false start, back up 5
a
yards.
costly mistake there committed by the Falcons. They'll back him up 5 yards. It'll go from 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 13. Well, Jason, this game's given us pretty much everything we've asked for so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, both teams able to run the ball, but, just some of those self-inflicted wounds we talked about earlier in the pregame just kind of coming back to haunt AP right now, and hopefully they could right the ship, tie this thing up.
4 wide receivers now for the Falcons. Waller to pass out of the shotgun. Under pressure, now being flushed out to the right. Gets rid of it, and they blow the play dead. They blow the play dead. He went to go flip it forward. They rule it an incomplete pass. Holy cow, what a game-changing call that could be.
Incomplete pass.
They could have ruled it a fumble just as well, but they blew it dead. So it's going to be 3rd and long now for AP instead of possibly a turnover. Holy smokes. So they'll break the huddle here on 3rd down and 13, back from their own 47. Line to gain is the Dike-New Hartford 40. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. D&H leads AP 7-0. And another timeout is called. The play clock was running down again. And Jason, that's a huge timeout because now they only have 1 left for the entirety of the fourth quarter. That's crucial right there.
Yeah, not being able to stop the clock. If they get into a situation, they're going to need those timeouts. And as you said, just with that 1 left, it's going to be tough to manage the clock for the rest of the quarter here.
Though at the same time, you feel like if you're AP, maybe you have to use that timeout in order to, draw up the right play to convert this, so.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want 3rd and 18. 3rd and 13 is bad enough, so, I think there's 3 seconds left on that play clock, so if things weren't looking right, you got to take that timeout.
Still just 2 pass completions for AP so far. Actually make that 3. 2 for Braden Kalkorff, 1 for Mason Prusner, but only 8 yards through the air so far. So 3rd down and 13. D&H runs back in off the sideline. Falcons making sure that they have everything squared away here in that huddle. Now one of the officials motions run the play clock, ready to roll. Falcons break the huddle. 2 receivers left, 1 right. A wing back and halfback in the backfield. Waller looking to hand off on a sweep to Eberhardt right. He gets brought down from behind, so 4th and long coming up for AP. Dawson Dietrich, one of the Wolverines, there to drag him down. Rumbling in there on the defensive line.
Dietrich brings him down.
So it'll be 4th and about 8.
Gain of
They
5.
move it forward to the 48-yard line after a 5-yard gain. And AP obviously going to go for it here with 11:22 and ticking in the 4th quarter. This is a crucial play call right here. This could be this could go a long way in deciding the outcome of this game. 2 receivers each side. Waller back to throw on 4th and 8. Deep drop back under heavy pressure. Throws it left. It's going to be caught, but well shy of the sticks. A turnover on downs by Aplington-Parkersburg. Prusner, the catch on the near side, but not nearly enough. He might have only gotten back to the line. Gerbrock there to make the stop, and Dike-New Hartford takes over on downs with 10:59 to go in the 4th quarter.
49-yard line.
Well, Jason, yeah, not what AP was looking for there on the dump-off pass to the left. That one, the only way that was going to gain yards was if there was good blocking, which there was definitely not. 1st and 10, Dike-New Hartford back at their own 49-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Wolverines. Handoff left, it's Davis, gets blown up in the backfield. Mason Kopp there to sling him down. Jason, I've been impressed by this AP defensive front. They've gotten some great surge up front in this game tonight. Lots of tackles for loss in this game.
Yeah, I mean, last week they kind of struggled a little bit with their defense, but in the offensive and defensive line, both been playing pretty well this game.
2nd and 10, Dike-New Hartford at their own 49. Ball spotted right hash. 2 receivers left in Fulkert's motions as the tight end. It's a pitch left, Davis. He's being chased down from behind and brought down again. A flag comes in at the very end. I wonder if this could be a face mask. This is a huge penalty call. Holding on the offense. So that becomes an interesting decision, whether you make it 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 10. Looks like they're going to take the yardage rather than the down. Holding on Dike-New Hartford. And they were making sure with Pikna here on the AP sideline whether he wanted to accept or decline that penalty. He will accept to move it back to the 39-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 20 now for Dike-New Hartford. And now the Wolverines are behind schedule on this set of downs. Picorni starts in the shotgun with a single receiver left, but 3 bunched up receivers right. Pitch right. It's Davis on the carry. Looks to turn the corner. Got some room to run, but brought down from behind.
Davis on the carry.
Excellent pursuit by the AP defense tonight. Mason Kopp records another tackle. So 3rd and long for Dike-New Hartford. 3rd and about 15. They're at their own 44. The line to gain is the opponent 41. 9.5 minutes to go, 4th quarter. And for Dike-New Hartford, they would be well advised to run as much clock as they can based on how this game has gone. 2 receivers left for the Wolverines on 3rd down and 15. Snap to Picorni, he rolls out left. Looking downfield, turns the feet, looking to throw, gets out of a tackle, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds over on the far side of the field, shy of the 50. And now Dike-New Hartford's probably in a punt situation. Again, probably is the key word there. You just never quite know for sure.
Yeah, middle of the field. It's be interesting to see how they come out here, how they're going to play it.
Holman brings out.
They say Kingston Holman made the tackle. So here we go, 4th and about 11. And Picorni is lining up deep in the punt formation. Looks like Shirka's going to backpedal back to return the punt. Here's the snap to Picorni. They do get the punt away, a sidewinder, and he's going to let it bounce. DNH has a chance to down it inside the 10, and they do. 6-7 yard line. Heck of a punt by Dike-New Hartford and Peyton Picorni. So that gives AP a long field to drive here with 8:56 to go in this fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Jason.
Good punt there to pin them deep, puts them at the 7-yard line. You got 93 yards to go, and if AP can grind it out on the ground, that running game that they've had the first 3 quarters.
So if you're AP and you score on this drive and there's not much time left, do you go for 2, do you think?
You know, I think in a game like this, you tie it up and live to play overtime.
Yeah, that's another big-time coaching quandary right there. So 8:56 to go in the fourth quarter. AP starts in the shotgun. Devin Eberhardt motions. They give it to him on a sweep right. Looks to turn the corner. Slithers out to about the 10-yard line. Picks up around 3. That play had gained some decent yardage earlier in the game. Not a ton that time. Still positive as he picks up about 3. Down to 8:35 to go in regulation. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. Falcons break the huddle here. On 2nd down and 7 at their own 10-yard line. Pistol full house Waller, high snap, but he takes it right, then takes it upfield. Still on his feet, trying to drive the pile. He'll be shy of the sticks, not by much. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Waller met by Gersh.
Lane Gersh there to make the stop out there for D&H. And Benny Waller picks up about 6 yards on the ground. Let's see, Jason, what do you got him for on the ground?
65 yards.
All right, 13
down
carries.
for the Falcons.
Oh, they do say it's a first down. Okay. So you might want to change that to 7,
We're
I
going
guess.
to change it to 7, yeah. So 66 yards. Just a little over 5 yards a carry.
You bet. Jason is doing some great work here in the broadcast booth with our stats here. This is phenomenal stuff. 7:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Pistol full house. And it's several fake handoffs. Might have been an option. Still minimal yardage here on the carry for Aplington-Parkersburg. Devin Eberhardt, fullback, ends up getting the handoff and gains 5. There were at least 2 fake handoffs on that play. Kind of faked me out a little bit. But Jason, sometimes that's what it takes. That was good play design for the Falcons, with people carrying out their fakes, doing their jobs.
Yeah, you get that misdirection in the backfield. It opens up some holes on the line and bust through for 5 yards.
2nd and 6, back at their own 22-yard line. Waller to throw out of the pistol, being flushed right. Throws it right, just a little bit low. That would have been a heck of a catch. Had a Hartbarger been able to haul that in over along the far sideline. The throw was just a little bit short, however. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
A note from concessions.
And AP at this point has to be in 4-down territory in just about any situation here. Down to 7 minutes to go in the game. This pace is not going to work out for AP at this point with the amount of time remaining. Waller to pass, under pressure. And he is going to be brought down to the backfield, a sack by Dike-New Hartford. What a play by the Wolverine defensive front. And Waller goes down for the first time tonight. So that'll back him up well behind the sticks. Lane Gersh picks up the Wolverine sack. It's going to be 4th and long for the Falcons. But as you would expect, the offense is remaining on the field. So Hartbarger lines up as the wide receiver right. Kalk Wharf out left. Pistol full house here for the Falcons. Oh, it's going to be a pooch punt for Waller. It angles toward the middle. It's returnable for Dike-New Hartford with Mills. Takes off to the left. Now still on his feet. Cuts inside the 40-yard line down to the 35 and brought down. And a flag at the end of the play. 2 flags come in. And these will certainly be crucial calls as well. Unless they're offsetting penalties. Then you can call it a draw at that point.
It's going to go against Dike-New Hartford, it looks like. I haven't seen the signal yet, though.
So they're going to back it up. That was a great return by punt return to Quinn Mills. However, looks like it's going to be negated here.
Personal foul on the Wolverines.
Personal foul is the call on Dike-New Hartford. And there's the white hat to give us the signal. Yeah, and Jason, those are things, you know, even with a lead can cost you games, honestly. In a one-score game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, the ball's almost on AP's 35, and with that penalty, it backs it up all the way about to the, 49-yard line. Yeah. So, yeah, field position definitely changes there.
Especially in these situations, maintaining that composure is key. Now we got an official's timeout. Looks like an equipment issue here with Jerbrock. He'll head to the sideline, and in comes Dev Davis. Which, speaking of him, rushing tonight, 10 carries, 33 yards, Jerbrock 8 for 11. So the ground game has not been very efficient for D&H. 26 carries for 118 yards, only about 2 yards a carry. So here we go. Wolverines will start at the 48-yard line in AP territory. Handoff Davis, and he gets busted up. Did the ball come free? Either it came free or he was down. Yep, he was down. And another loss on the play.
Davis on the carry. McBride there to make the tackle.
Goes backwards for about 2 yards. 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. Do the Falcons have one more stop in them? Remember, they only have one timeout left. Second and long here for D&H. 12 yards to gain, to be exact. And now Picorni starts in the shotgun, or in the I formation, that is. 2 receivers right. They run a lot of clock. Handoff Davis. He's got some room to run, but the hole closes up. West Shirt drags him down. The ball pursuit, the ball carrier pursuit by AP has got to be commended with how they've been able to run down ball carriers here in this one tonight. So third down and about 6 coming up for Dike-New Hartford at the AP 45. The line to gain is the 39. Now we've got under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Wolverines lead at 7-0. Picorni starts in the shotgun. Twin receivers right, one left. He takes the snap. Handoff. No, it's QB keeper to the right. He's got the first down at the 40-yard line. Jukes to the left and brought down. They faked the handoff. Picorni took it himself to the right and gained first down yardage for Dike-New Hartford. Got just enough on third down and 6. Gains about 8 yards on the play out to the 36-yard line of AP. 4.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. A chance for Dike-New Hartford to put this game away on this drive. And now they're back to about where they were before that penalty on the punt return. 4:15 to go in the fourth. D&H is running clock, 5 to snap it. Folkerts motions. Handoff, Jerbrock doesn't get very far, 2 at best. He falls across the 35-yard line. Second and 8 coming up.
Brought down by Kopp.
Mason Kopp, there in the AP defensive line, able to bring him down. South Hardin leads Iowa Falls Alden 30-0 at the end of the third quarter. Second and 8, D&H at the AP 34, leading 7-0, 3:39 left in the game. Folkerts motions left. It's a rollout left here for Picorni. Almost was swatted down. It was caught by Folkerts. He gets busted down after picking up 1-2. And he's a little slow to get up. And they're going to blow this clock dead for an official's timeout. And looks like they're working out a cramp over on the far side on Folkerts. So 3 minutes and 20 seconds left here in this fourth quarter. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. And let's do a rundown on some of the stats so far. In the passing game, Peyton Picorni is 8 of 11 for 56 yards and a touchdown. Leading rusher for the Wolverines, Dev Davis, 12 carries, 37 yards. Let's see, leading receiver, Aiden Walston, 4 for 37 and a touchdown. Meanwhile, for Aplington-Parkersburg, in the passing game, Benny Waller is 4. Well, 4 for 4. That's interesting. For 8 yards. All right. Let's see. 58 rushing yards for Waller on 14 carries. Falcons as a team have ran for 108 yards on 28 carries. So they're still checking out the injured player over on the far side, and gives both teams kind of a chance to just reset here with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. And we do have the Dale Howard Overdrive coming up at 10 o'clock tonight here on 99 The Wave, as well as 104.9 KLMJ. So be sure to check that out. That's also going to be streaming on YouTube. So several different ways to experience that particular program. Well, Jason, this is going to be a huge snap coming up here on 3rd down and 6 for Dike-New Hartford. You know, as soon as this injury timeout is done with. Have they spotted the ball even after this is all said and done? Yeah, here it is. Yep, they had spotted the ball out there at the 32. And injury timeout is over. Folkert's back up on his feet after they were working on that leg for a cramp. So here we go.
3rd and 6 for the
3rd and 6 D&H. 3rd and 6 from the 32-yard line of AP. They run the clock, now 3:10 to go. They can run the clock down under 2 minutes. Movement up front. I think AP jumped. Yep, offside against AP. The penalty yardage is not going to be enough for a Dike-New Hartford first down. But it's going to make it 3rd down and 1 instead of 3rd and 6.
And that's going to change things for Dike-New Hartford as far as a play call, maybe, what they were going to do. I mean, you go from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1 now. It's a lot easier to get that first down, John.
They break the huddle here on 3rd down and 1. Clock's still running here. They can run this down to under 2:30. It's at 2:50 right now. I formation Picorni. It's a QB keeper, gets a surge from behind, looks to have just enough. They will move the chains, take Peyton Picorni with a first down to the 30, make it the 25-yard line in AP territory, and that will wind the clock. And again, AP only has 1 timeout left. At this point, AP's best bet is to get a takeaway. That's going to be about the only way at this point. So here we go. D&H breaks the huddle on 1st down and 10. 2:24 left in the game. Wolverines bleeding the clock out to the end here. McCorney is under center in the I formation. Hand off to up the middle. It's Davis. And with that 1 timeout remaining, it'll be interesting to see when AP uses it. You know that D&H is not going to throw the ball in this situation unless they have some huge losses and have to. We're down to 1:54 left. And it's going to be 2nd and 7. D&H has it down to the AP 22-yard line. AP still with that 1 timeout. They have not burned it yet. I formation here, Picorni. 2 wide receivers, 1 each side. And a halfback dive. It's Davis. A little bit of room to run. Chopped down just shy of the line to gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and 1 coming up for Dike-New Hartford unless they decide to measure it here. Because it is extremely close. And now they're going to blow it dead for an official's timeout and bring out the chains for measurement, it looks like. So 1 minute and 14 seconds left. And here come the chains. And if this is a first down, then D&H can just kneel the rest of the game out. Because AP has only 1 timeout left. And wouldn't be, yep, that's a first down. That's the game right there. So Dike-New Hartford is going to win it 7-0 in the latest chapter of this historic rivalry. AP's timeout is irrelevant at this point because D&H can just kneel it out at this point, even if they do use the timeout. And now we got the officials making sure everyone's on the same page here. It'll be 1st and 10 down to the 15-yard line. And I don't know what we're doing here. The head referee is in the Dike-New Hartford huddle, talking to the players. I think they're probably just letting them know, hey, we're taking a knee here. So usually when they do that, then they'll relay that to the defense as well and just be like, hey, they're taking a knee. Just take it easy here. That's typically what happens. So I'm guessing that's what the head referee is saying to AP right now. Yeah, now he's motions around the play clock. Yep. And around the game clock as well. Minute 20 left.
Taking quite a bit of time in the huddle to call a kneeling play. But
right. So yeah, there's the victory formation. They can snap it at about a minute. And there's the snap of the knee, and they'll just have to do that once more to finish this thing off. But holy cow, Jason, a heck of a performance, and Dike-New Hartford ultimately won this game in the margins. They were the more disciplined team tonight. AP had a few too many mistakes when it comes to penalties and things like that, and that proved to be the difference here tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, and AP, nothing to be disappointed here with this game. I mean, again, another week where they kind of have those self-inflicted wounds, and but to come out of this game 7-0, really good job for them. A lot of growth I saw on the offense and defensive side of the ball this week.
All right, that'll do it. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. Post-game coverage is coming up next on 99 The Way. Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0 is the final score. John Mowinkle and Jason Eaton coming to you from Ed Thomas Field. Jason, heck of a game we just witnessed, a game that Dike-New Hartford won in the margins. Aplington-Parkersburg commits a few too many mistakes, and now the teams are in a little bit of a post-game prayer huddle, showing signs of unity right there. But, we're talking about some of the biggest plays of the game. We go back to about late in the second quarter. Dike-New Hartford punts the ball. AP partially blocks it, but Dike-New Hartford recovers it because at that point it's a live ball up for grabs. Anyone can recover it. Dike-New Hartford, that drive doesn't result in points for D&H, but it denied AP a crucial opportunity in plus territory late in the half that could have changed the game.
Yeah, I mean, that to me, it's just a fluke play, right? I mean, you get a blocked punt, not the easiest thing to do in a football game, and then the result doesn't go your way. I mean, you end up giving Dike a fresh set of downs, and like you said, they didn't get any points out of that, but that's kind of one of those things that you just don't see every day in a football game, and the momentum definitely changed there a little bit towards the end of that half because of that play.
And then we go to the second half. Dike-New Hartford able to put together that scoring drive late in the third quarter. And let's go back to the stat sheet here because there were three crucial plays on that particular drive. The first one was a long completion it was a swing pass to Aiden Walston in an opportunity for Dike-New Hartford an opportunity for AP to get a stop there. That was on third down, so they pick up the first, and then a long run by Peyton Picorni extends the drive, and then the touchdown pass of 18 yards from Picorni to Walston. I mean, that's obviously the drive of the game for obvious reasons there, but all it took for Dike-New Hartford was just a few explosive plays to be the difference in a game that was otherwise, back and forth in the trenches. Neither team was giving up much aside from those three plays.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you expect in a game like this with AP versus Dike. I mean, these guys get together, and you got this rivalry, you got the history there, and, that's just the way things can go sometimes. But, yeah, it's crazy to think that the game kind of came down to 3-4 plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so AP will return to action next week by hosting Garner-Hayfield Ventura. That'll be the non-district finale. Dike-New Hartford will host Grundy Center next week for the non-district finale. Let's see. I see the coaching staff, so I'm going to run down and talk to Coach Pikna. Find that interview on YouTube either later tonight or tomorrow morning. It'll also be on the Brothers Market Coach's Corner coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. on 99 The Wave. But for now, we're going to sign off. But, Jason, any final thoughts before we send this thing home?
I don't think, granted, not the result AP wanted. Lost the game 7-0, but, nothing to really hang their heads about. I mean, there's a lot of progress I saw on the offensive side of the ball as well as on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, that'll do it for tonight's coverage. Again, the final score, Dike-New Hartford 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0, in another fantastic installment of one of Iowa's greatest high school football rivalries. For Jason Eaton, I'm John Mowinkle saying good night from Ed Thomas Field. This has been High School Football from Radio On The Go Sports.